It's funny how we all just went completely silent.
Hey, it's Mom with Matt's time. I'm Matt. Matt too is sick this week.
Experiencing technical
Run,
difficulties.
running solo here in the cave. So, joined by Skype by Mr. Jim Lore,
Yep.
Mr. Gavin Swan,
Hi.
Mr. Ken Hansen,
Howdy.
and Mr. Grant Martin. So,
Oh,
evening everybody. Let's get the
Evening.
live chat up. Trying something new here.
I mean, it's kind of not modeling with the Mats without the future man coming on board. Where's he at?
That's why he calls it modeling with the mat.
The man.
The Matt.
The mat.
The Packers. The Matt.
Hey, Manny the Person. Hello, Manny the Person. Oh, and Grizzly Goose are on. Two of my students are on right now. So, welcome, everybody.
Be nice. Be nice. Students.
Hey, and Julian's on.
Hello,
Hey, Julian.
Julian.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, we just popped on live on the YouTubes. So, how about around the horn? Let's see, Mr. Grant, what's on your bench? What you working on?
I just muted myself for safety's sake, and now you asked me. I'm working on.
I love it for safety's sake.
What is that, a U-boat?
Who's safety?
Yes, sir. It's it's actually the USS Bluegill,
Oh, okay.
one of the
Hey,
only
same
World
thing.
War II class Gato class submarines that actually sailed in the Gulf of Tonkin
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
on Yankee Station.
Cool.
That's the
Awesome.
subject of my diorama that I've been quizzing Jim about epoxy for the last couple of months.
Live show. Julian, what you working on?
I don't know yet. So, instead of finishing any projects, I have decided I am going to get all the models that are currently in my possession ready for photo etch. So, I'm going to be rescribing weld beads and adding on a bunch of plastic. So, I don't know
Remember, it's a family show.
Well, I won't be doing any photo etch on here. I won't be doing any photo etch until I'm back from Germany. I just want to get everything ready
Okay.
so it's all streamlined for when I'm back home. I can just pick up whatever kit I want.
Because as a modeling group, we've decided that photo etch, metal tracks, and decaling is not allowed to be done on the show.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
For
swear inducing.
for censoring purposes.
Yes.
Since I work with like a ton of photo etch, I got me one of these for like $15 for
Nice.
the sales. The
Oh, visor.
Zoom.
I need a
thing.
visor.
Oh yeah. The OptiView. Oh, I couldn't do this hobby without mine.
It's kind of weird getting used to, but it's really useful.
Oh,
I've got
I
a
love mine.
big sailing ship coming. I'm gonna need it.
Oh, there you go.
Hello, George. George is on. He says, "Hi, Matt. Skype crew and live chat."
George.
And he says,
Future
"Jim
man.
is speaking the law."
Yes.
So,
Hi, George.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate.
so
Does the Australians do a Thanksgiving? You know, maybe throw a shrimp on the Barbie or something.
I don't know.
Hit a roo on the highway. Happy Thanksgiving.
I wonder, can you eat kangaroo?
Yeah,
I wonder what that tastes like.
not chicken.
I think it would taste like deer.
I think everything tastes like chicken. You think it tastes like deer or bear?
Something inside me tells me that it would taste like deer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a
So I don't know. I worked with a guy from Australia once, and we were talking about that roadkill thing. He goes, "Yeah, wombats. They were like running into a rock."
all right. We got
I'm not going to eat a wombat. That's a rat. That's just a big Australian giant rat. No thanks. I don't even want to look at one.
George says, "I need to eat a turkey sandwich now." And we have KRD Klein Racing Car Design says hello to everyone.
Nice. Hello.
Rue does taste like deer, gamey.
Okay, there you go. See,
That
you
is
nailed
from,
it.
that is from the Australian. So
Just a,
Hey,
just a deer
that's-
standing
that's-
up, basically.
That's it's a very muscular vertical deer.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Vertical deer, I like that.
Yes, vertical deer. Yes.
It's a whitetail.
All right. Ken Hansen, what you working on, sir?
I finished priming my F-18 and I'm cutting some strips of vinyl to put on the F-16 to spray some walkways
Nice.
because I tried the decal walkways and they were not going very well. So
They
the
never
one-
look. They never look right.
Yeah, the Hasegawa one, it's a thick decal and it didn't tear on me, but it's really difficult to get straight and it's really thick, so it's hard to hide. And the micro scale was thinner, but it you couldn't get it straight, and it would tear because the decal sheet was old. Even though I put a couple of coats of the liquid decal film on it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just gonna mask and paint them with the. I'm using the silhouette cutter, and
Yeah.
I did a run, but they were a little too thick, so I'm cutting them down to a 16 10,000ths of an inch.
I did that on my Tom. Hello, I did that on my Tomcat. The two walkways right above the intakes. I found it was actually easier than working with the decals, and they look better.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just look better.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Painting
you'll love
looks
it.
better.
Yeah,
So
you'll love it.
before I gotta paint that before I can do the rest of the decaling, because if I do the rest of the decaling and then try to paint the marking, chances are my masking tape's gonna pull off some decals.
Yep.
so.
Yep.
But other than
Yeah.
that, everything's going great. I got the 3D printer going for some projects for my wife. I print more stuff for her than I do for me. It's like I want to get to use it sometime.
I have been known to do that myself.
So what do you print for your wife?
Just some holdbacks. She wants some curtain holdbacks, so I'm printing them out right now.
Cool.
I designed them in Fusion 360, and
Oh, cool.
she likes them.
I actually 3D printed a D20 shifter knob for her van,
Nice.
and a D20 higher air valve covers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So-
Yeah, it's fun once you can basically whatever your imagination comes up with, you
Yep.
can generate a CAD file or download a CAD file to an STL. You can print it. It's amazing.
Nice.
Love mine.
Oh yeah, I got my resin one yesterday. I brought that home. My
Oh, yeah?
3D resin. Yeah, I haven't set it up yet. It's the Frozen Mini 8K.
Oh, that's a good one.
And, yeah, and I got the wash and cure stations. Came in a huge box, so
Yep.
it's like 3 separate boxes.
You'll like it. They're a lot easier to set up than the filament ones, but
Yeah,
you can't do as much durable stuff with the resin, but man, oh man, the detail will knock your socks off.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
gotta-
forward to.
I got a resin Chrysler small block for my Challenger, and
There you go.
Nice.
it's expensive. But at this point, why even bother building the engine that comes in the kit anymore?
Yeah, the details is incredible on some of the 3D
Well,
stuff.
you got to let me know. I could actually, if it comes with it as an STL file, that's like all my players on my D&D game. They don't, they'll go to like Hero Forge or something like that, and for like $6, they'll download the STL file and I print it and paint it for them. So yeah,
The engine I got had boundary casting marks on the side of the block.
Wow.
All right. Mr. Gavin, what's on your bench?
Well, I was tying up some loose ends, so I working on a trumpeter 1/35 scale THAAD, which is a giant pallet of missiles on the back of a Hemet, and they're used for theater air defense. So if they find an incoming missile, they shoot one of these up there and it takes care of it. So I was working
Nice.
on that. I've had the tractor done for a couple months. So I just got the missile pallet done, completely assembled, ready for paint.
I'm in a little bit of a predicament, guys.
Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know what I want to start on. If I want to start on the Leopard or if I want to get this Stug started up. I can't
Stug,
decide.
Stug, 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 Stug.
Alright, thanks for making it
Stug.
easy. Appreciate
What variant of leopard? Hear me.
They're all the same.
Ah,
All the same.
I like
You
those
see
things.
one big cat, you see them all.
Alright.
You've seen one Stug, you've seen them all.
No, hey. It's over-engineered.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Lore, what you working on?
I have a batch of BattleTech here. I'm actually getting. So I did a base coat of desert yellow, and these are just. This is a third of what I'm doing, and now I'm using flat earth to make camouflage stripes, and then I'm going to outline said camouflage stripes in a whole red.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Alright. And let's see.
Sorry,
George,
I
we know
wish I
you're
had
at work, but George, what you working on?
Cricket.
I
Cricket.
will relay it. Well, I'm
The
working on the
Cry
bow
Cut.
fighter. I want to get it done because it's in the cool box art, group build.
Oh,
It's got to be done by the end of December.
yeah.
So I was like, let's see if I can get this hammered out a little more. My son starts basketball season here real soon, so that's going to take up a bunch of my free evening time. So,
Yeah, I've got 3 kits going right now, and my goal is to get them done by the end of the year so I can start out the blank slate. I don't know how it's going to happen, but
Well, that's actually where I'm kind of stalling because I'm doing the same thing. I'm actually waiting till the 27th, so I get a little time off because we're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
But once the 27th hits, then I'm going to start counting kits again. So I actually figured it out. I actually built 12 kits this year.
nice.
That's awesome.
One a
That
month?
is
That's good.
that is a record. I mean, I was like, what? Yeah, 12 kits. I was like blown away.
I think I started 12 kits, but I got finished maybe 2.
And that's the thing is that I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, did I start them? No, I finished them. They were in shows. Far out. Look at me go. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Grant's better half.
waiting on parts for the Challenger. And I've got a sailing ship going, and then that missile launcher. So,
Yeah, how's your Amerigo going?
it's going good. I mean, goes together fine. Japanese kit. I was moving it. I had it set aside. I was getting stuff out to work on the trumpeter kit, and I broke one of the masts off, so I'll have to fix
Oh.
that.
I was gonna say, which sailing ship are you doing?
The Amerigo Vespucci. It's an Italian Navy training ship, full rig sailing ship. It's got a couple diesels in the hull, but it was built in the 20s, and they still have it. They still use it in the Italian Navy.
So it's turn of the century. It's not
Right.
It's
It's
not
not,
like-
a wooden hulled. It's a steel
Yeah.
ship.
okay.
But it was actually in California a couple months ago in Los Angeles Harbor.
Oh, so she's still sailing. She's still together.
Yeah. She's
Oh, awesome.
on the register for the Italian Navy.
Oh, really? Nice.
Just like the Constitution here.
Yeah,
Yes, Constitution is.
it's still considered a U.S. naval vessel.
Yep.
And if you've never visited her, she's beautiful.
Yep.
She is one finely tuned lady.
Yeah, I went there when we were kids in school. We had a field trip there
Oh,
down to the naval Quincy, Mass, with it, and it was great. I gotta go back there again. So long ago. I just
I saw it
remember
a couple years ago.
everything's so
Pretty
much
cool.
wood. Everything's wood.
I thought she was in Boston.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
the
I-
Quincy, Mass.
Naval Yard.
Yeah. the
Oh,
naval-
okay. Just say, I know I was in Boston when I saw
Quincy
her.
Naval Shipyard, I think. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's what it's called anymore, but yeah, it's in Boston. Oh no, Charlestown Navy Yard. That's what it is. Charlestown Navy Yard. It's in Charlestown, Mass.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You think because Constitution's rebuilt a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've
It's like
refurbed
the
it.
old. It's like the whole 200-year-old axe, but it's had its handles replaced 7 times and it's had 5 new heads.
It's still going strong. You know, it's
Right.
good ship. Good
Well,
ship.
Jim, isn't it still an active U.S. Navy ship? Don't they carry it?
It
an
is.
active-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
they
still.
do.
Yep.
Yep. It's
And
still
it's
on the
still-
registry. It's still. I mean, they do the same thing with the Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, they've still got the Missouri on the.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah,
said
Pearl Harbor.
yeah, they said that they could have the Big Mo ready for combat in 2 days if they
No.
ever needed it. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, crazy.
Well, they never fire up the engines or the propellers. Now they how.
Well, I mean,
Oh, sure they do.
we
Oh yeah,
used
they do.
Missouri
Yeah, they do.
in the Gulf
Oh.
War. Didn't we, the first Gulf War?
Yep. That was the last time she saw combat. Was at she fired Tomahawk missiles. She fired the first shot of Desert Storm.
Well, what I'm saying
I have
is, ever since she's been out there, they've got her set up as the museum ship in Pearl Harbor. They have
Mhm.
never fired the engines up, nor have they ever run the props.
Well, they don't need to. They're boilers. She's not a diesel. Those are boilers that run those. So
But
it's
still,
she's a steamship. I mean, you don't really need to run it as long as there's no corrosion in the boilers or whatever. You know, and the props, they're used to being in the water. I mean, they may have to repack it, but that's maybe where the 2 days come from.
Dude, there's a whole lot of stuff involved in running those. Just get the boilers running. That
Oh, I know.
they seem like the time, it just stuff is no good.
That's part of what I did in the Navy. I worked with a lot of boiler techs, and yeah, it's a pain, but
You know, and so if they don't do
Battleship.
run that stuff, it just. Anyway, so the point was, I had thought I had heard it's like the Battleship New Jersey, the guy that
Battleship New Jersey is.
videos on the New Jersey. It's that question all the time about how long it would take, and he's like, well, it could do it.
I mean, are they ever going to do it? Probably not.
Well,
You know, I mean, you know, you'd have to be pretty bloody deaf to bring out a 100-year-old ship.
Well, I think the movie Battleship shows us very well how that could happen.
Okay.
Alien invasion?
The only way they would bring back even a single Iowa class would be if we lost.
We'd have to lose like
Nuclear
at least 3 carriers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the
And they wouldn't be used. They wouldn't. They're like, oh, we're gonna motor up and shoot the hell out of them. They would be used as a forward command vessel
Yep.
because they have flag spaces.
Yep.
well, if you listen to this Szymanski guy, the guy that's the curator of the
At Battleship New Jersey, Ryan Szymanski.
he had a list of things that would prevent those being put in service again. It's because first of all, because they can't get to the. There's a number of things that they would have to work out in order to get it, and they just won't be able to do it.
For the Battleship New Jersey, at least I know, and it's probably the same for the other 3, in their contract, because they can be taken back at any time, it is illegal for them to fire the steam plants.
Yeah.
If they fire up the steam plants,
Yeah.
they will have the ship revoked from the state's care.
And I think that's I think that was like a Yeah, I remember he talked about that. The fact that it would cause that if they fired up the plants, it would cause that ship to automatically be reclassified as something.
Well, you can't. You also can't
It'd
fire
be-
up a naval vessel like that because now it can be moved under its own power, and it can't do that without a commander.
Oh, I remember what that is because it's classified as an NFA weapon.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
They would need a
I remember-
tax. They would need a couple thousand tax stamps.
Yep.
That's right. That was so. I laughed my ass off when I heard him talking about that. 'Cause he's,
But that's your butt off.
oops.
I'm trying, Matt. I'm trying to get it. You know, it's
I know.
it's like babysitting. You know, it's hard.
It's all right.
Sorry. Well, Grant is a champ.
Sorry. Grant has left the building.
So I'm using this stuff called, let's see, OMASK. It's from the Czech Republic, and check it out. So here are the wheel wells.
Check it out.
Oh yeah, those foam inserts.
Yeah.
Those are
Oh,
cool.
that's cool. How much did that set you back?
This pack was $4.
That's
Oh,
not
wow.
bad at
It's
all.
reusable, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're reusable too.
Spend that
so,
much on tape, just stuffing it in there.
Right?
So
Or
That's
makeup
what-
foam, or
Edward put those in some of their kits, in like the
Yeah.
351B.
so is it like a silly putty kind of thing where you just stick it in there and go, or
it's foam. It's high density foam.
but it's shapeable?
Yeah, it's pre-cut.
It's
so it
pre-cut.
fits right in. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I saw, I don't know, earlier today, a website that had Edward's Royal class P-51, like 132nd scale, for like $99, and I looked at what was in it because I was curious, and holy, those Royal class Edward kits are really, really packed.
and they're good kits from what I understand, but it is so hard for me to justify the $99. Well, okay, I'd be scared to death to do anything to it. I'd be like, don't break it, don't break it, don't screw it up.
But you get 2 kits out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll screw them both up. Have you
What's
seen
that
my
for?
models? Oh my god, I would screw it up.
What's that stuff you're using, Matt?
What?
What's that stuff that you're using to fill in those?
It's called OMASK. It's www.omask.cz.
Czechoslovakian.
Yes.
I am Czechoslovakian beat farmer. I make you a mask for your model plates.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had something you were using as a filler for the
No,
wheel.
that's what it was. It's high density foam. It's pretty cool.
So is it like an XPS thing, or is
No.
it something that we
it's-
could possibly replicate?
I don't really know because it does take, when I push my thumb into it, it does pick up my, print my thumb into it, but
So it does. Okay.
but it's pretty, it's not XPS.
You know what it reminds? It almost looks like what is that? The florist foam.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
Um,
Well, now I'm curious.
it's almost like, let's see, like a dishwashing or a washing dishes kind of like sponge, but it's like really tight little.
Oh, like
Thanks.
the foam for a wet palette, like a magic eraser kind of thing.
Kind of even more dense.
Dense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got like microscopic little holes in it
Cool.
for sponge. So, but yeah. So she's going to the paint booth maybe later tonight. It all depends. So
I have a good magazine on the Beaufighter I should send you. Very good. Talks about the development of the airframe. And
cool.
I think it's combat history too.
All right, since I was focused on that, let's see. From live chat from George, he would love to get a printer. A lot of good Black Friday deals out there. He's looking at the Bamboo Labs plastic printer just to get started. But
That's a good one.
But he says, I don't really need another hobby.
That's true. Once you start doing it, it can be very addictive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm painting BattleTech miniatures when I don't hardly play. Because I printed them all off, and, well, I gotta bloody well paint them now.
Yep.
But yeah, once you start doing that, it's, you know, and then if you tell your friends, they'll be like, well, can you print me this? Can you print me that? I'm like, sure. And then they're feeding that addiction. They're enabling you. It's fun.
Enablers.
Yep.
See, I would get one so I could just print tracks and tracks for days.
I have not, I hasn't yet to do that, but I really want to try it. Because I got the Furrow Model Sherman metal tracks, and they're in 3 pieces. Each track has to be assembled, and then the tracks have to be assembled to each other. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
So
See,
we
that's not
actually,
even that bad compared to some of the Sherman tracks out there.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's what's really pushed me off of building one. Same with
Okay.
modern armor.
Well, the tracks for like the Abrams, the Furrow Model tracks actually come in their the track links are in one piece, which is really nice.
See, I wanted to get an RFM. What's it called? Abrams today,
Yes.
because I saw Squadron had their the set V3 for like $35, and I was like, that looks like a really nice deal. So I
Yeah.
checked it out on ScaleMates, and I saw it had the tracks went together with 10,000 pieces, and I was like, nope.
Whoa. That's a little
No,
much.
it is. It's 9 different pieces to make one track link. So let's go.
That's called
No
insanity.
thanks. Yeah, that's called can't do that on live YouTube.
Oh, I would
Um,
lose my mind.
Oh, we would lose our charter. Mother beep.
Might as
yeah.
well mute the stream.
Yeah, just yeah. That's definitely for an after hours thing.
Yes.
Or it's for a never do thing.
Or never do thing. So what is the modern British tank? Is that the Shepherd?
Challenger.
Yeah,
The Challenger. What was the Chaparral?
The Chevrolet? It's a car.
Chaparral.
Chaparral.
That was a U.S. anti-aircraft tank. I worked with a guy who served on those. They had like Sidewinder missiles that would launch.
Oh,
Yeah, anti-aircraft.
because I've never built modern armor. The closest modern armor I've gotten to was the M113 APC.
Cricket. Sorry.
Sure.
No, I was just doing the Chaparral. It's pretty cool. It shows there's like 4 Sidewinder missiles on like a rotating turret, I guess you'd call
Oh,
it.
nice.
Kind of a weird looking machine, but yeah, I remember him telling me he served on the Chaparral.
I mean, I've got the Walker Bulldog. I would love to get a Hellcat.
Yeah.
Especially the Tamiya version. From what I hear, they are awesome to put together.
Yeah.
But they're also hard to find. And I'm not talking about, I don't do stuff online. I want to find it at a swap meet or something.
Yeah.
I can't
I can remember seeing Hobby Lobby that's all they had for armor. They had the Tamiya Walker Bulldog.
Yeah, I've got
1/35
one.
Scale.
Yeah.
I got that one.
That's a nice kit. I like that
Yeah.
kit.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
regarded as one
Well,
of
it's
the,
an old kit, but I like that kit.
Well, that was at the M113, that APC. That's an older kit too, and I had a blast building that thing. That was awesome.
Those simple old Tamiya kits are so.
Yeah. Some of those old armor kits were awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their new ones
Here's a
are really
chaparral.
nice too.
There you
I
go, Jim.
personally won't build them, but
You don't like the Tamiya armor? Oh,
yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like,
oh, that's
I love,
cool looking.
Yeah.
I have that thing
That's a
unlocked.
cool
in,
looking rig.
Dude, that's got the same tracks as the M13, the M113.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks almost like the same.
With the skirts and all that,
chassis.
yeah.
But they modified. They got a cab on it, and
That's the same chassis that not the HIMARS, but the other one uses, the one with the track. Forgot
Oh,
the
that's
name of it.
awesome.
it
That's
looks like
cool
an
looking.
M113.
Yeah, it sure does. Especially right at the bottom where the skirts are at.
Yep.
That looks cool.
Yeah. I'd build that.
I'd build that.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good enough for government work.
Well, technically, isn't that all we do? Everything we build is usually government work.
Yeah. So hey, since Matt 2's not here, I busted out one of our older brackets, jet bombers.
Woo!
Jeff,
I know this list.
You know this list? Yes, you made this list.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Julian
So
got my dart.
we cannot
Yeah.
blame Matt 1 if we don't like it because I did it.
Yeah.
Not doing any work right now. I'm just looking at everybody else.
Okay. Gotcha. All of a sudden I was like, did you blow a fuse?
You know, actually, fun fact: if I plug my airbrush in while my computer and everything's plugged in over here, the breaker does split. So
Oh boy.
Gotcha.
yeah, I gotta bring an extension cord in every time I want to paint. But I go across the room to paint now because I made a little spray booth because I want to be able to breathe when I'm like
you're still
60.
off.
Yeah, that's good. Breathing at 60, breathing period is, yeah.
Let me tell you, breathing at 70 is underrated.
Very. And wait till you smoke for 50 freaking years, and then wait till you get to do that. That's fun.
I used to paint houses with lead paint. I'm fine.
I can
Suck
eat it.
long.
It's fine. We used to suck on lead paint every day. Drank from a water hose.
I used to put on asbestos tape with my bare hands.
Potato chips?
Dropped a
We didn't have
container of
potato chips.
blocks
We had
once.
paint
That was
chips.
all right.
We used to use aerosol cans and not as described.
Back in my day, we would huff paint. Oh my god.
Thanks, Granddad.
You know
Now
what
I
I'm
get
going
to be
with
18 to buy a spray can.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying
Exactly.
to. I just need it for my model.
That was like Grumpy Old Men with Dana Carvey on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, you gotta show.
Steel dashes, and we get to an accident, and we hit our face on a steel dash, and we loved it.
They just went in and wiped it off and resold it.
Car seat. We threw our kids in the back of the pickup. Hang on, boys.
In my small.
Used to riot in the back of.
Me too.
When you turned 18, it's pretty much a rite of passage. You go over to Walmart and you buy a spray can.
Yep.
Like almost everybody I graduated with had some random color just rolling around in their trunk.
Okay. Why?
Because you can't buy spray cans until you're 18. So
So they just bought. So they just turned 18. And that's what they choose to buy is to spray.
almost everybody I graduated with, when the day they turned 18, they went up to Walmart and bought a can.
When you turn 18, you can buy a shotgun from Walmart.
Well, yeah, you can do that now.
That's expensive.
Well, not in Illinois. Yeah, paint's cheap.
So
Needless to
my
say, there's
for
nothing
some
to
strange
do in
reason
Harrisburg.
the chat froze. So catch up with what George has to say. Let's see. Monday night was his last hobby night with panel lines on the Zero, and he wants to
Nice.
mask and spray the F-15E, the tricolor camo. Let's see.
Ooh.
Kits that he didn't need, but Black Friday made him do. The
Oh,
Hasegawa
I knew that
148
was gonna happen.
Starfighter in Southeast Asian camo, and the old
Ooh.
Boba Fett from The Mandalorian, which was half price.
I have the
Ooh.
Boba Fett. I've got that Boba Fett, the Bandai kit. Yep.
And he
Bandai.
uses the foam leftovers from Wargaming figure cases, and that works really well in the cockpits. That's the so it's
Yeah.
tighter than that kind of foam. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
That
yeah.
closed cell foam is what we used to use. It's actually a silicone based that we used to wrap the batteries in the fuel tank for our remote control
Gotcha.
airplanes.
Yep.
Hey George, I got a question for you. Do you shop with B&A World Online?
It's gonna take them a while to answer.
I bought some stuff from them. Yeah.
Well, wait and
What's
find out.
your shipping rates from the U.S.?
I'll be right back. I have to tell my wife something real quick.
Okay.
Shipping from Australia wasn't that bad, but that was like maybe
Ooh.
a year or so.
George always says it's real expensive to ship from there.
Well, it
but-
depends on, I guess, on the size of the package, because I get stuff from Japan and it's not that bad. From like Hobby Link Japan.
Oh, Hobby Link, yeah, that one is always like $4 part shipping for $15.95.
Yeah.
You know, that's not even that bad. For me to order from Andy's Hobby Headquarters, it's like $13 shipping flat rate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's coming from where he's actually what, in Arizona or something. So
Yeah.
for me, he's coming to Missouri. It's super expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Scale
The,
Hobbyist in New Hampshire. It's anywhere is like $9.95 flat rate shipping, and their prices are really good.
Yeah. UPS has gotten
That's where I
kind
get
of
my paint
ridiculous.
on my paint. Is there
Andy's
a,
service is really good. Though,
All right.
So, I mean,
I'm
Pfeiffer
still a
has
fan
from
of Sprue Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Sprue
The shipping
Brothers.
still. I mean, the shipping still. See, I bought that bottle of the Mr. Leveling thinner. I think it was like $4 to ship it, and I live in. It's weird because I live in Missouri and it didn't take that long, but I don't know why it. I don't know why it cost $4 to ship it. You know. Throw it
there's
in
a
the mail.
nice change for if you get a model, if you're just getting paint, so on.
Yeah.
I really like Squadron. Squadron's got some pretty good shipping rates.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
got
think
free
they were
shipping.
still
I
around.
think. Brandon Lowe started. He bought them, and I think he's running them out of Tennessee now.
North
he
Georgia.
moved to Florida.
I like their filling.
Did he move to Florida? I thought he
No.
was in Florida and moved
Georgia.
to Tennessee.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He moved from Florida to Tennessee.
North
Yeah.
Georgia. He's let's see, 5 minutes from Chattanooga, but in Georgia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Chattanooga
so-
is very close to Georgia.
So
That's so weird.
from George, Future Man, to respond to Julian's question, the answer is yeah, best store ever. But because their website is crap, he uses their eBay store. It's called A-Modeler, and would
Cool.
would only use it to check stock since eBay shipping would be too much. So there you go.
Gotcha.
There's your question. The answer to your question.
Awesome.
Sold things on
The
eBay.
hive mind
eBay
works
stores are
again.
really-
Yes. I
So
like
being
Sprue
a-
Brother because my brother, he lives in Lincoln, and when we go up and visit him, we normally travel up on a Friday or we travel back on a Monday, and I can place an order at 9 o'clock in the morning from either St. Louis or Lincoln, Nebraska, and I can swing by their warehouse and pick it up.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, I
So
like Sprue Brothers. Andy's. But if Andy's has something and Sprue Brothers also has it, I will probably order it from Andy's.
Wow,
Just-
really?
Yeah.
I find most of the time with Sprue Brothers, once you get it to the cart and you're checking out, since they have sales tax, it ends up being more than what it'll be at
Yeah.
these.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sprue Brothers does have a weekend sales. Those are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the light
some good
deals
deals on
too.
them.
Yeah, whenever I see
Well,
one that I know the group would like, I always throw it up there because I'm on their newsletter site too. So
Yeah. Yeah. And well, if you go through Andy's, a lot of times he's got deals on the stuff that he makes. Like he came out with that 1/12 scale Sherman, that is, wow. I don't know how much it is, and I'm afraid to ask, but
It's
I would.
right now.
Oof.
Yeah, I was checking his prices for his Black Friday deals, and they seem real good. And then I checked it on Scale Hobbyist, and they're the same price. So
Oh,
I'd probably just buy it from Scale Hobbyist.
I like buying
Like that
from
Scale
Andy.
Hobbyist everyday price is that price that he's selling it on sale for.
See, I like getting from Andy because I pretty much only build Dragon, and he's like the
Yeah.
only U.S. direct.
oh yeah. And right now he got a lot of Dragon stuff in. I saw that video. It's just, wow.
Yeah, he's got Hasegawa on sale too, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to get a hold of.
Speaking of this, for these Black Friday sales, I was looking at getting a Kitty Hawk SU-27. I don't know if you guys have ever built any of the kits, and I'm really hesitant on it because I don't know how any of them go together.
Yeah, it's sort of hit or miss. You definitely want to check some reviews on it because some of their kits are really difficult and they are horrible fits and terrible instructions. And then I've heard good things about some of the other kits, like their the little bird helicopter. They said that went together really well. But yeah, you would just definitely want to just do a little Google search to see if there's some reviews out there, because they'll point out all the pitfalls with the kit. And
And that's a Kitty Hawk, the company Kitty Hawk.
yeah,
Yeah.
they went sort of bust there, but then they came back to life. And I don't know if just someone else is
I
selling
think
them.
I've got one of their ship models actually. I think. Do they do? I think I've got an aircraft carrier that's made by them. I don't know. I'll have to look. I think I do.
Well, I have a Kitty Hawk aircraft carrier model, but it's the USS Kitty Hawk, and it's made by Academy.
Interesting.
Alright.
I feel like I have one of their kits. I'll have to look.
I don't think they
This
do
time-
carrier. Be wrong.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I will.
Yeah.
I got so much crap in my stash. I don't know what I've got anymore.
George said Flory might have a good review on it too. So
Oh, there you go.
He's built a few of the Kitty Hawk kits. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
all right, ready for some jets?
Dude,
I got
let's
some
do
paint.
some
I got paint that needs to dry. So let's do some jets. All right, so vote in the chat. Vote in person. We'll go Grant, Julian, Ken, Gavin, Jim in that order when we vote. So
Okay.
we'll go around the horn that way.
That means I got
Horn.
focus dust.
Yeah. He said, let's see, George says Kitty Hawk is the only one who makes the Sea Sprite helicopter.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a
I
thing.
think Claire Prop makes it too, because I got one of those.
72nd scale.
Claire Prop, yeah, 7
It's a
seconds.
UH2.
All right, here we go. We got the B-47 Stratojet versus the Gloucester Meteor.
Stratojet.
Ooh,
So
Stratojet.
jet bomber. So Grant, what you got?
Stratojet.
Stratojet. All right. Julian.
Stratojet.
All right. Ken.
Stratojet.
All right. Gavin.
Stratojet, the most beautiful jet bomber ever constructed.
Okay.
I got the
Say,
Hasegawa
Jim.
kit.
I'm gonna go with the Stratojet as well.
Alrighty, moving on.
I
B-47
was afraid
Stratojet.
that I was gonna say the Gloucester. While I like saying the Gloucester Meteor, it's hard to beat that Stratojet.
All right, you got the B-2 Spirit Stealth Bomber versus the Hawker Hunter.
B2.
B-2. All right, Julian.
Don't attack me. I'm going with the Hawker Hunter.
All right,
Fair
all
enough.
right,
Fair enough.
Ken.
Oh, definitely the B2. It's a
All right.
Batman plane.
Yeah. All right, Gavin.
B2. If you've ever seen one fly, it's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
And they're so quiet.
Yep. Okay, Jim.
I'm gonna go with the Hawker.
Okay, George, we got yours.
I'm gonna
Okay.
die on that hill
Culture.
too.
All right. I actually got to see the B-2 fly into Whiteman Air Force Base in Knob Noster,
Mhm.
Missouri for the first time. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it a cool
And
little
they are incredibly quiet.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially like when they're taxiing by you, you can't hear them.
Right.
But
And when you look out under, like, if it's flying towards you, you see a line, and that's
Yeah.
it.
that's it.
Yep.
And by the time you see that, you're dead.
Right. So.
If you're the enemy, you're dead.
Yeah, if you ever hear a B2 Spirit, you weren't the target.
You weren't. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, that's not you. It's not for you.
Because
Alright.
you can't hear it till it gets past you.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing's huge too.
It is big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had my buddy in college, when he saw it, he's like, no, he wasn't an airplane guy. He's like, what if it's just like the weapon is actually like a big giant. He like throws it out there like a boomerang.
it'd be spinning. It would be fun to watch though.
It would be.
It's like
The
It's
pilots
like the
would be like,
battle
"Oh God, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sick."
All right, let's see. So, let's see. Gavin, right up your alley. A7 Corsair 2 versus the
Ooh.
B57 Canberra.
No shot.
No shot.
What was the first one again?
A7 Corsair 2. Or the B57 Canberra.
I don't think of that Corsair 2 as a bomber, but
It was
Yeah.
a grounded. It was a
Ground
naval
attack?
ground attack aircraft.
yeah. But
It dropped bombs.
But
Right.
when you compare that to like a B2 or a B57 or a B52, it's sort of underwhelming.
It's merely the difference between a strategic bomber and a tactical bomber.
Right.
Yeah. Still a bomber.
Do you need to wipe out a town versus do you need to support your ground troops?
Yeah. Do you need surgical strike or do you just want to, flatten the earth?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But it'd be hard for an aircraft carrier to carry around a B-52, so
Which
You
is
gotta
why
go
the
small.
Navy needs bombers. That's why they need those smaller bombers.
Right.
They landed
a Okay.
C-130 on the Forrestal.
Yeah,
Okay, Grant, so what you
barely.
going with? A7 or B57?
we'll go with the B-57
All right.
just to keep the scale relative.
All right. Julian.
Oh yeah, the B57.
Okay. Okay, Ken.
I'm going with the A7.
All right. George, we got yours. Gavin.
The A7.
All right. Hey, Jim.
I'm gonna go with the Corsair 2. Love that plane.
All right.
You get to
A7
live-
Corsairs moving on.
What?
Yep.
I swear I heard a lot more B-57s in there than Ace.
This is built. Just
Two. Two of them.
January 6th. January 6th.
5-2. George voted for it too. So.
Good
All
man,
right.
George.
Let's see. Staying on the same light bomber kind of thing, we have the A4 Skyhawk versus the Tupolev Tu-22M Backfire from the Russians.
Where's
That's
Jordan?
Because that's two sexy planes right there. I
I
mean,
know.
very good
I
looking
know.
planes.
I know.
So what do you,
Believe
what do
it
you
or
think, Grant?
not,
Grant, you going A4 or you going the Tu-22?
I'm going backfire.
All right, going Backfire. All right. Hey, Julian.
Consider-
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the A4.
Okay.
So iconic.
All right.
Just because they call them a fighter bomber doesn't mean they're a bomber. I don't care.
Ken.
I gotta go with the A4 because the 222 is just a butt ugly looking plane.
And therein lies a good reason to vote for it.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin.
A4 is cool. Blue Angels used them, but I'm gonna have to use the Tupolev.
Okay. Going Tupolev. All right, Jim.
Okay, I have a question before I do my choice.
Okay.
The Tupolev, isn't that the one they called the Bear?
No.
No, that's
That's
the
the 95.
T. That's
This is
yeah,
a
the
22.
95.
Okay, then then I want Heineman's hot rod.
Okay.
This is the TU-22M,
Yes.
Yeah.
which has the intakes on the side like an F-15.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
pick bomb.
A4
The
Skyhawk
T-20
moves on. 5 to
It's
2.
Grant's gonna die on that hill, man. He's like, no, it's not a bomber.
That's right.
Get out of my yard.
You can call me a woman, but that doesn't make it true.
All right, so we'll stay a little we'll stay a little bit. Let's see, on the Russian side here, we have the Su-24 Fencer versus the British, German, French Tornado.
Oh Jesus!
Can I go first? I gotta go get something.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Su-24, the wing sweep, and especially when it's in that Russian gray color.
okay. All right. Okay, Grant.
You really need to ask. Yeah, I'm gonna go. What was the second one again? I missed it. Sorry.
The Tornado,
Yeah, no, not the tornado. The other one.
the Fencer.
Spencer. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All
they're
right.
still small, but
Okay, Ken.
bigness.
Definitely the tornado.
Okay. Okay, Gavin.
I think I'm gonna go with the Fencer.
Okay.
Never really thought about that airplane, but yeah, it's neat looking.
I like George's response. It's little boom versus big boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, George got yours. All right. Okay, Jim.
I'm gonna go Tornado.
All right.
Oh,
This is a little bit closer. 4 to 3. The Fencer's moving on.
Wow. Jordan would be proud.
Yeah. I will say I voted for the Fencer because I just think the Tornado's ugly.
What?
It's just
It
ugly.
looks like the
Hey, you know, I knew that about you, Matt. I remember you saying that before. You never liked the GR1, the Tornado. You never
Right.
liked it.
I
No.
love the GR1 with the Desert Storm, Desert
Yeah,
The
I
Desert
like
Pink.
that one. Yeah,
and the nose
I
art.
love the-
It's all
I love the-
classic.
Yeah.
yeah. The pink Tornado.
Yeah.
It's not really pink though. It's just desert scene.
It's all gray to me. I don't care.
Yeah,
People
it's-
tell me it's pink. Sure, whatever. The British
Yeah.
want to fly around in a pink bomber. Go ahead.
All right, so we got the A6 Intruder versus the B58 Hustler.
Ooh,
Oh,
He's picking.
Oh,
that one hurts.
All right,
That's Pickens, man.
which one you going with there, Grant?
D58.
B58.
Hustler, man. Hustler.
All right, Julian.
yeah, I'm going with the Hustler.
Hustler. Ken.
B-58 Hustler.
Awesome. Let's see that. George goes, I voted for the Tornado because it was the loudest jet I've ever saw.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Gavin.
The B-58.
B58. Jim.
Because it's the worst kit I ever built, the Hustler.
Okay. B58 Hustler moving on.
A lot of
Come
cool
on.
things.
Four engines strapped underneath that thing. That was sexy as you
Oh,
would believe.
and fast.
Yep.
Yes.
And tall.
Isn't that the one? Isn't that the one that had the encapsulated ejection system,
No,
where
that
we
was
literally
the
camshell over the pilots and then shoot them out the bottom?
Yep.
Or was
Oh,
that
yeah.
the Valkyrie?
No, it did.
Both. Both.
And then the
Yeah,
F-111's got the whole capsule that comes out.
Yeah.
111, whole cockpit flies off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the drogue chutes on the back, but this one's literally a camshell. It looked like Batman's car armor as it went over, and then it dropped you out the bottom of the plane.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were a part of the bomb package.
All right. Let's see. We got the AV-8B Harrier versus the B-52 Stratofortress. Probably not even a vote here, but we're gonna go anyway. Grant.
Big Bob. Big Buff.
Big Buff. All right. Julian.
Stratofortress.
All right. Ken.
Harrier.
Harrier.
Whoa, there we go.
Thing's
Well,
awesome.
he does live in a colony, so.
Colony.
He lives, he lives in the States, dude. He lives in like, don't you live in like Pennsylvania or something?
Oh,
New Hampshire.
That's not a
Yeah,
colony.
colonies.
That's one of the original 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, George, got yours. Right, Gavin?
Oh, Big Buff.
All right.
They don't call it the buff. You know what buff stands for, right?
Big, ugly, fat fellow.
Yes.
Yes, but the fellow is normally
Fellow.
Yes.
much more harsh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Jim.
I mean, the Harrier is so innovative, but I gotta go with the B-52.
All right.
Nothing
good.
like a good carpet bombing.
You were the deciding vote there, so it is the B-52 moving on.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you can do carpet bombing with conventional or nuclear.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Didn't the Harrier have a nuke capability too?
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, it didn't?
Didn't
Okay.
go fast
I don't
enough.
think it ever got certified.
It's a
All
pretty small
right.
weight.
Hmm.
All right, we got the Avro Vulcan versus the A-10 Warthog.
Oh, really?
That is no fair. Oh. Dang.
Okay.
Hey, Grant.
It's gonna be a bad day for Vulcans.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Come on.
The Wigjet.
The
No,
Warthog?
Avro.
Avro
Oh.
Vulcan, all right.
Grant.
Julian.
A10.
A-10.
You are gonna die
George,
alone
you
on
got
that hill,
yours?
sir.
Ken.
A10.
A-10. Julian. R.T. Gavin.
Avro Vulcan.
Avro Vulcan.
Oh.
The A10 needs to retire.
Hey, whoa. No, it doesn't. No.
Yes, it does.
How?
The A10,
No. No.
Hey,
the A10 has more friendly fire incidents than any other aircraft in use right now.
There is that true.
2 words
You know, the
that
thing
no
about
other plane has. Titanium bathtub.
fun, but just because it can carry bombs doesn't mean it should.
It was designed to do that.
No, it was designed to carry a damn cannon.
Yeah.
A guy in a suit walks into Fairchild and he says, "Here's a cannon, make it fly."
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome.
F-35 pilot
Also,
said,
that
"Hey,
airplane
look,
bankrupted Fairchild.
the F-35 pilot said, "Hey, look, my airplane's got a gun." The A-10 pilot says, "Look, my gun's got an airplane."
Yeah.
That's good. That's it. I like
Yeah, and
it.
if you
Yep.
breathe hard on the 35, it'll crash.
Yeah, but the F-35 can drop a smart bomb and leave before they even knew it was there. You can hear an A-10 coming for 4.5 miles.
Yeah, and still it will destroy you because it's tough.
Yeah, only if they miss their friendly troops first.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And George goes, "I'm sure the A-10 could drop a nuke too."
Well, maybe.
Okay.
If it ever gets
Titanium
certified,
doesn't melt under high heat.
All right. Okay, Jim.
A10.
A-10.
Jim,
If you've ever heard that sound in real life, that's awesome. Yeah, nothing beats that sound.
We were on vacation in South Central Missouri this past summer, and they had some A-10s that were out doing demonstration, and they were flying back to. They were refueling at Fort Leonard Wood, and they buzzed the camp area where we were at. There was one time this A-10 guy went over, and I looked up at him, and I looked at my wife and said, "That guy had blue eyes."
Yep.
that's right.
Like just over treetop level. And he was doing probably 300 miles an hour.
Yeah.
All right, A-10 moves on 5-2. All right, now we got
That was closer than I thought it was going to be.
We got the B-47 Stratojet versus the B-1 Bomber, the Bone.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, B1.
B-1.
Hate that, but yeah.
All right.
Jimmy
Julian.
Carter's nemesis.
Julian, you got a vote in this one?
Oh, sorry. What are the options?
B-1 or B-47 Stratojet?
B1.
B-1. All right. Ken.
B1.
B-1.
Yeah, bad to the
Gavin.
bone.
Bone. Gavin, sir.
Oh, yeah, the B1.
B1. All right. Jim.
It's the coolest bomber.
Bone.
Bone.
The bone.
All right.
Plane's so cool, the Soviets copied it, supersized it.
Yep.
Yeah. And
All
It's
right,
very
we got-
expensive though for its time. It was.
There we go.
It's a wonder
And
it
we
never got built.
George's vote in there. So moving on. B1 moves on.
Cool.
still expensive, Jim.
Oh yeah.
That thing is
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
so glad they did get built, because I saw one once and went up in the cockpit. That's a nice
Nice.
airplane.
Okay, here we go. Next round, we got the B2 Spirit versus the A7 Corsair. Sorry, Gavin.
Oh, easy.
Well,
That's fine.
Grant.
My case
Me
ready.
too. Me too.
B2. Julian.
B2.
B2. Ken.
B2.
B2. Gavin.
Ace and
A7.
thank
All right.
you. Thank you. Gavin, you're a smart man.
Oh.
Okay, Jim.
Because the B2 is so ugly, I'm gonna go A7 Corsair.
All right.
It's
Right,
ugly.
There to be ugly.
well, I wouldn't call the
It's
A7 attractive.
Oh.
It's just a damn flying wing. How can that be
And
ugly?
that's exactly right. It looks like a freaking boomerang.
George went in with the token A7, but
There you go.
4-3. B2 moves on.
Wow. Well,
Oh,
no accounting for taste, right, Gavin?
man.
All right. B58 Hustler versus the A10 Warthog.
Oh, piece of-
Oh, come on.
Okay, Grant.
58 for sure.
All right. Julian.
The Hustler.
All right. Ken.
B58.
All right. Gavin.
B58, it doesn't kill its own people.
You know, Gavin, I thought for just a second, I thought you and I were going to be friends.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna
Just-
throw
just-
shade to that airplane as long as it keeps draining my tax dollars.
I hope it continues to drain your tax dollars for many years to come.
Hey, Jim.
810, baby.
A10. All right. And George, we got yours. George says A10 all day. But unfortunately, the B58 got
What's
more
up?
votes on that one.
It's a little scary when the Australian is actually on my side on that one. But I'll take it.
All right. We got the
get me
B1
wrong.
Bomber versus the A4 Skyhawk. Hey, Grant.
We're finally getting it to come up. It's the B1. Man.
All right. Julian, B1 or A4?
B1.
B1. Ken?
B1.
B1. Gavin?
B1.
B1. George, we got your vote. Let's see. Jim?
A4.
A4. All right. B1 Bomber moves on. 6-1.
Hey, let me ask you a
Alright.
question.
Okay.
Did we eliminate all those wannabes?
Not yet.
Ah.
Okay, we got the SU-24 Fencer versus the B-52 Stratofortress.
That's rather fitting, actually.
Okay.
Now we've eliminated the wannabes.
All right. Grant, what you doing?
The 52.
52. All right. Julian?
Su-24.
Su-24. All right, Ken.
Jordan
Uh,
would be proud.
Su-24.
SU-24. All right, Gavin.
Big buff.
Big Buff. All right. Jim.
B-52.
B-52.
And a good band, too. So, yeah, gotta go with the B-52.
All right, and we got George's. Much as he loved the A4, he picked that B1. So, let's see.
Hey,
4-3, the B-52.
Wow, that was close.
4-3.
Closer than it should have been.
4-3. All right, now Grant, you'll be all happy because every single one of these now in the final four all have a B in front of them.
Hey,
Thus making this all a little bit more difficult, though.
I was gonna say, because I had to find 17 bombers.
Yes.
It's hard to do.
So you got the B-1 Bomber versus the B-58 Hustler.
Oh, that one's gonna sting.
So, two dead sexy ones here.
I had to go down that hill, didn't I, Jim?
Yes, you did.
Yep. So what you picking there?
Now you can. You made this lunch. Now you can eat it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 58 though.
All right. All right.
Hey.
George, we got yours. Hey, Julian, the 1 or the 58?
58.
58.
A hus.
A little hustler there. All right. Yeah, Ken.
The 1.
The
B1.
1. Going for the 1. All right.
Oh,
Gavin.
One.
I'm gonna go with the B1.
All right. Jim.
I'm gonna go with the Hustler,
Hustler.
the
All right.
Larry Flint special.
Gotcha. All right. 4-3. B1 moves on.
Wow, that was tight.
It was. Luckily, we got 7 people tonight, so there's not going to be a coin of fate.
Thank goodness.
All right, so then we got the B2 Spirit versus the B52 Stratofortress.
That's easy.
Okay, Grant.
Spirit versus the B-52, huh?
Yep, that is correct.
You made this lunch. Eat it. Eat it.
Well, since the B-52 is older than me, I'll go with the 52.
All right,
Actually, it's my birthday, so.
gotcha. George, we got yours. Hey, Jillian.
52.
52. Ken.
Yeah. The 58.
52.
No, what was the other one?
It's
B2 versus
and then
B52.
the B2.
Oh, B2, definitely B2.
B2. All right. All right. Hey, Gavin.
The B-52.
B52. All right. Jim.
I will agree. The B-52.
All right. 4-3. The B-52 moves on.
Rolling Thunder.
Bad.
All right.
Big buff.
So, for our coolest, best, whatever you want to call it, jet bomber, B-1 Bomber versus the B-52 Stratofortress.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, okay, yes, okay.
Okay.
I will go with the B-52 because it's the only aircraft alone that can wipe out an entire country.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Julian.
Oh, what are my choices again? Sorry,
The
I got this.
B-1 or the B-52?
B-52.
B-52. All right. Say, George, we got yours. All right, Ken.
B1.
B1. All right, Gavin.
I'm gonna go with the B1.
All right. Okay, Jim.
Am I the deciding vote?
Yes, you are.
Oh my God. B-52.
B-52. 4-3. B-52 is our winner.
Yay. It's one of my favorite. I used to subscribe to the Air and Space magazine from the Smithsonian,
Uh huh.
and one of the best issues that I saw, they had an aerial satellite view of all the B-52s being guillotined to pieces,
Oh.
and it just made me sad.
Did you
Hey.
cry? Did you cry,
Yeah.
Jim?
A little,
Yeah.
a single tear.
Speaking of winners,
Oh, you froze.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh. It sounded like an angry cat.
Now, Grant, is that the Display Sander?
Yeah, that's what. How do you pronounce Display? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the little motorized. Man, let me tell you,
Do you
This
like
kid-
it?
this is. It's the first time I used it. I've hit it down
Cut out again.
I want one of those so bad.
here.
We'll never know what he is.
Oh man, this is nice. This is.
I
No, I mean-
want one of them
Oh man.
because I am not a fan of sanding at all, and that would help.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, George. He goes, it's a carpet bomber. There's no style.
Well, unless it's carrying cruise missiles.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean the B-52 could pretty much do it all.
And then it's a standoff Air Force, is what it is. Cruise missiles.
All right.
And it's one of the few big bombers that's ever been used for close air support too. They used it in Afghanistan.
Go.
Do they? Does it have countermeasures?
Holy crap.
Yes, it has a tail gun and it's got flare and shaft. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it had a tail gun. They're-
Well, it had a tail
Yeah,
gun.
they
Yeah.
got rid of it.
Yeah.
That's a good point though. You know, I mean, with the JDAMs, it could carry 100 JDAMs, and you got precision bombing right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that 52.
Well, yeah, it's the days of like the days of the B-17 with all the guns bristling, the Super Fortress, those were all gone. They even stopped doing that in with the B-29. They had, I think the tail gun was actually radar or something controlled. It wasn't even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it had a top turret.
Yeah,
That
the
was
top
it.
turret was
Yeah.
remote controlled.
Right.
Yeah.
The remote control,
Yeah.
but there was a tail gunner in there.
you have to
I think
remember
they
that
saw the casualty rates during World War II and said it was.
Oh yeah. It was. Well, it's daylight bombing, so yes, it's duh. That's why the British did it at night.
Because
Not only the casualty rates, but the things never lived up to their accuracy that they
No.
were billed as.
No, they were touted as, yeah, you can go in there without fighter escort and you'll be okay. No, you won't.
And you can put a bomb in each one of the oil tanks at the oil pump. Yeah.
But I mean, who doesn't love the 17, right? I mean, that's
Well, it's pretty looking.
it's iconic. It's beautiful.
I like the 17. I like the B-24 better, but 17's cool.
Did you?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I like the
20
B-24.
that was the workhorse.
Oh, I like the 24 too, but the 17 is wow.
Too
I mean, oh yeah, totally iconic. Matter of fact, that's actually going to be my build for the legendary build.
Oh man, this
They
thing.
built more 24s than 17s.
They
I'll
did.
say that.
Well, they were smaller and they were able to produce them a lot faster. And is that the
The Liberator.
the Liberator? Yeah.
Oh, Julian's Armor fun facts. Did you guys
Oh.
know that the 76 was actually slapped into a Sherman due to the Panther and Jagdpanther, the appearance of those in Normandy, and it was not because of the Tiger. The Tiger had no influence in that.
He's just a font of knowledge.
And same thing for the T-34-85 and IS-1. The Panther was the result for those to be created. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the Tiger was definitely strong when it didn't have mechanical breakdowns and whatnot, but The Panther is just, you got the perfect triangle right there. It's fast. It's got
Yeah,
armor.
but the Tiger was, we didn't have anything that could touch it. I mean, the Sherman was a joke compared to the Tiger.
No, but
Uh,
the Panther had more frontal armor than the Tiger. Not in like flat rates, but
Right.
due to the angling and whatnot.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Tiger did so well. And the armor was thick for sure, but it's also the way they angled it. It was flat, and it deflects really well.
Well, yeah. Fun fact: in the manuals for the crew teaching the crew, they were actually taught to keep the corner of the armor plate pointed at the enemy at all times.
Well, yeah. And you don't want to point the side of it because you take out one wheel and all 20 of them die. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I just think that's interesting because people always, I think they overrate the Tiger quite a bit, when in reality people were especially scared of the Panther.
Yeah.
But still, you still didn't want to get hit with that thing.
No,
Of course. Well, you also
No.
got to realize, like, most of the time when your tank got penetrated, if you weren't one of them to catch a Spalling, you were gonna bail out.
Yes.
The Panther's only problem was the final drives.
Yep. The engine and transmission issues got sorted out very quickly, but they never really did anything to sort the final drive issue.
Well, but the Panther also wasn't produced in the kind of numbers that they did for the Tiger. Even the King Tiger had more, I think, production than the Panther did.
No,
Because wasn't the Panther a late war?
no. 1943, they
Okay.
produced 6.1K units. The Tiger 2 only
Oh wow.
like 500 were produced, and Tiger 1's only 1,500 were produced. But they ceased production in mid 1944.
44, yeah.
Um,
Actually, if you could get it on a concrete road and not break down, the Tiger 1 would outrun a Sherman.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's also
100%.
it also had a lower silhouette than the Sherman too.
Yeah, it was lower to the ground.
The Sherman, when I saw it in person, I was baffled by just how tall it is. It's taller than the Panther, it's taller than the King Tiger, and it's taller than the Tiger and T-34.
Well, they did that on purpose. They made it tall because they thought that the commander would have a better vantage point.
Yeah, and crew comfort as well. That's why crews actually like the Sherman
Yeah, because it's like having the high ground. The problem is they put really light armor and a really like a BB gun. So yeah,
Oh, jeez.
No, that 75. It's really an anti-infantry gun. That's really
Yeah.
what it is because the HE
Yeah,
round is so good on it.
it was never ever meant to kill tanks.
Yep. But it did really well in Japan because Japan's tanks were crap and they didn't
Yeah.
have any. So
Well, they did, but they were
They were crap.
like World War One issue kind of. They kind of look like the old what is it, Stewards or the Churchills or whatever. Yeah, they weren't good. And well, because the Japanese don't care about their people, they just we're going to build this machine. It had a big gun on it, but it didn't have any armor because they just didn't care about the pilots.
another fun fact: we actually we taught the Soviets and the British assembly line production.
See, and then they take it from us.
Yeah.
This is probably the best book about the Tiger right here. This is the Haynes Manual. The Tank Museum helped write this in the UK. So it's got sections about the one that they have restored that runs. And it's got documents from the production line in it. This is a great book.
Hey guys, I
Another-
gotta run.
All
right,
have a good
Ken.
night.
Have a happy
Right, Ken.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
You too. See you later, Ken.
Yep.
See you next week.
Bye.
Eat
Yeah.
some good food.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Don't get too fat. be like me.
So I think I'm gonna start on this now.
Sword Impulse Gundam.
Gundam.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's from Matt 3.
Did he give it to you as a gift or did he upcharge?
No, he gave it to me.
Oh, nice.
So
You'd be so proud.
he wants me to
How
give it
come-
give it a shot.
How come he doesn't join these calls?
does.
His wife's been sick. So
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
He was for a while there.
yeah, he was. Let's see.
I love this trick. 3-color armor, and all I gotta do is follow a line. So relaxed. Yeah, that list did not go over like I thought it was going to go.
What? I thought it was awesome.
It's a good list.
B-52.
Yeah, it surprised me. I thought maybe I actually thought the A-10 would take away from it, but you know, if it wasn't for Gavin hating on my airplane all the time.
Why A10 when the F-35 does it better? That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it as much as the.
Well, I was gonna say, well, let's agree to disagree on that because the 35 is not a bad plane. I am a fan, but there's a reason why the A-10 was still in service up until a few years ago.
Okay, so here's a good question. So, a multi-role aircraft like the F-35. When was the last one that was actually effective as a multi-role aircraft?
None of them.
I mean, the F-16 is pretty effective at being a multi-role.
The
Yeah.
F-18 as well.
Yeah.
The F-15.
Oh, yeah, that's
You got the Strike Eagle?
Yeah, it's an interceptor. Yeah, you can do intercepting, you can do dogfighting, you can drop bombs.
The F-4 was pretty good once they put a gun on it.
Yeah, that's true. But it took them putting a gun on it.
They loaded them suckers up in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They were way too confident in air-to-air missiles. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was the Sparrows and the Doctrine at the time that really did them in. Once they got the Sidewinders on them, tweaked the Doctrine a little bit, they worked fine, even without
All I'm
the gun.
saying is, the Vietnam War is a complete show of political bullcrap. When you're only allowed to enter a country through a tiny little strip, that's
Yeah.
Yep.
kind of
You might as well. You're giving the enemy a tactical advantage.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what the.
Oh, you mean the enemy's going to come through this door right here? Cool.
Well, it's like that Bill Cosby bit. He talked about what if they used a coin to determine who started what, and so
Yeah.
he got to General Custer and Sittenbull. General
Yeah.
Custer. Okay, Sittenbull, you won the toss. What do you want? Okay, Custer, you're gonna have to sit at the bottom of the hill while all the Indians in the world ride down on top of you.
Okay.
That was funny. You're right. We're gonna put all our anti-aircraft guns in one spot.
Well, and if you want to talk about an aircraft that was multi-role, that was highly successful, I would say let's go back to either Korea or World War II, the Corsair, the original Corsair. It did everything. It
I mean, that
was
thing was in service forever, wasn't it?
oh man, it started out in 44,
I think
43. And then it was in service all the way into the 60s.
I mean, it was being used in the Vietnam War. It
yes.
reported some air-to-air kills.
Yes, it did, and it did some kills, but they used it mainly for bombing, especially in Korea. It was highly effective in Korea. So, but interceptor,
Okay.
fighter, close air support. Yeah, I mean there wasn't much that the Hog couldn't do. So, which is probably why it's one of my favorite airplanes.
Was it a super prop or was it just your typical prop?
Is a piston engine.
Late war was super prop. It was the Korean War Corsair was vastly different than its World War II counterpart. Still same engine though. I still think it had the 2800.
I'd say the P-38 was a great multi-role aircraft. I mean, they had fighter versions, they had photo recon versions, they had a bomber version with a glass nose. There was a night fighter version. Which is probably why they named the F-35 after it.
Wow.
God dang it. That was a perfect.
I don't know, something about the P-38. I like it, but I don't know. There's something about it that just, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way. I'm not sure. I'm serious. I just don't know why. I can't put a finger on it, but just something about it. Just like,
Just because they named a can opener after it.
wow.
I never linked those two together.
Actually, the A-10 was actually named more for the P-47 Thunderbolt.
Yep.
Man,
Okay,
in
now
fact,
that
when they
I'm a
called
little lost
Thunderbolt
on.
2,
Yep.
yeah.
I thought its nickname is the Warthog. I don't get it.
Well,
Yeah,
that
that's
was the
his- that's
nickname,
his
but
nickname,
its
that's-
actual name was the Lightning 2.
Gotcha.
Thunderbolt
The
2.
Or no,
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt 2. Thunderbolt 2, thank you.
Forgive me, guys. I don't know much about aircraft.
Well,
The F-16s is the Fighting Falcon, but the pilots call it the Viper.
Yeah.
well, the 35 is a Lightning too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was named after, it was the Lightning number 2. So P-38 and that one. Yeah.
Really, the P-38 had some issues too. I mean,
Had a lot of issues.
you didn't
It
know
would
how to
lock.
handle it. That airplane would kill you.
It would. It'd lock up on you on a dive. What do they call that?
G-Lock.
Thank you. Thank you. It would compress
It compressed, yeah.
big time. And in a dive especially, because it was powerful, but the elevator was so freaking small. It was too small for the airplane. It was like the rudder on the Titanic. It was never made to turn that. It wasn't made to do that. But it also has the highest kill rate in World War II. Now, is that the pilot or was it the plane?
It's arguably both.
Well, I mean, if you weren't the pilot, that airplane would
Right.
kill you. So
Right. So I wonder if Mr. Bong, if he flew a different aircraft, would he have gotten the kills? I mean, you want to talk about one of the most mild-mannered people. Everything I've ever read about him, everybody said he's, it almost reads like a serial killer, right? He's real quiet,
yep,
stays to
big
himself, he doesn't drink, but, he kills. And he does a lot. And I've always wondered how he would have done in a different airplane.
Well, there were some guys in the PTO in P-47s that got really close to Dick Bong's number.
But didn't Gabrisky? God, is that his name?
Gabrowski
Thank you.
was in Europe, and he got pretty close. He was the highest
Yes.
scorer in Europe,
Yeah.
and he died.
Wrong. It's me.
He died before the war got over with. He was home on leave
Yeah.
and died, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
And
And
Dick
then-
Bong, after the war, was testing out P-80s for Lockheed, their jet,
Hmm. and they
crashed
killed him
it.
and crashed it.
Yep.
And then Pappy, I don't know how many. Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask Boyington, he's going to say that he got a lot more than what he was credited for. Because he was counting when he was flying with the Flying Tigers, he was counting those as well, and they did not count towards his kill because he's getting paid for it.
Check it out. So what happened to Dabrowski? Was that like natural causes or something?
No, didn't he? Wasn't it like a car wreck or something?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, he was home on leave. He didn't get killed in combat. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, he didn't get killed in combat.
Yeah. You know.
So I just messaged Matt3 about what I'm doing. He said, awesome. Sorry he's missing tonight. He had some house issues he's got to deal with. He also, if anybody wants to come down to the Cape Girardeau Jackson area this Saturday, Nuclear Nerd, his shop, is hosting a pop-up shop and game day. He can send more information if you guys want to know. There's also a Facebook post.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there all going to be armor?
I don't know. I will ask him.
Did you say Nuclear Nerd?
Yeah, that's the name of his shop.
Oh.
He's got a shop.
Well, it's
He is
kind of
a-
outside of
he
his
is-
house, but he's doing an event, so.
He's a business owner.
Did
He's handling his
Business?
business. He's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind.
You're going into the shrimping business.
That movie was on the other day, actually. I
Did you
may
watch
not be
it?
a. Oh yeah. Oh, I always do. I love that movie. I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
Johnny.
I'm sorry, Jenny was the villain of that movie, and I don't care what anybody else says.
No,
I
definitely.
agree.
I mean, let's recount. So as a kid, she didn't fight for him. She just told him to run.
Wait,
And then when
to
they
be
got-
fair. Sorry, no, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. So and then when they became teenagers, she basically led him on. He drove all the way out to her college just to see her being with another guy in a car. Ran him off then. Had him standing out in the rain. Yeah. Then to boot, she comes back every time she almost dies or whatever. Then she gets AIDS. Gives it to him.
Gives it to the kid.
Gives it to the kid. Thank you.
What?
Yeah.
That's how AIDS works.
Yes, she did. I'm being corrected.
You have AIDS.
This
yes,
argument has become multi-location.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm getting it from the other room.
This sucks.
Apparently,
To be
there's a book
fair,
that
she
is based
enabled
on
his
both.
success by telling him to run.
Yes.
So
Well,
she's the hero. Both of them.
But she's a foil. She's not really the.
Here's the thing I like
she's
is
the
that
foil.
no,
She's the aluminum.
she always told Forrest to run, but really she was the only one that actually truly ran. She
Wow,
ran
that was
every time.
Yep, every time.
One day I just ran.
I just felt like running.
George goes, Jim being fact checked? What?
Yeah, I know. I know. By my partner, no less. Supposed to stick up for me. She didn't die of AIDS.
So what's everybody doing for Thanksgiving?
Little as possible.
Do
Amen.
2 dinners.
2 dinners, all right. Are they close or you got to travel?
30-minute drive in between.
30-minute
So
drive.
just enough to digest before you eat again.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Supposed to snow here Saturday.
Yeah,
Trivia.
when we get cold.
Trivia. They've done studies and they say that everyone that goes to a Thanksgiving dinner does about 2,500 calories.
Yes.
But they get about 6,000 calories on Thanksgiving because they go to the in-laws, they go to the parents, and they got 3 dinners they go to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel miserable.
It's like you say, Gavin. You finish one meal and you let it digest, and you're on to the second one.
And you're on to the next one.
That's
Trying
right.
to fall asleep in between.
Well, that's,
on 13, you know.
gotta love that tryptophan, man. Hit it.
That's actually the carbs. That's what gets you.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
Well, that's true. If you think about every Thanksgiving and or Christmas dinner, mashed potatoes loaded with carbs,
Oh, yeah.
green beans, corn loaded with carbs, Hawaiian bread loaded with carbs, stuffing loaded with carbs,
Yeah.
And then
cranberries loaded with carbs.
And then you get a dessert.
Oh, okay. We don't even talk about that because that's the best part of it. I mean, come on.
But all carbs. All
And?
carbs.
It is true. But it's some really good tasting carbs, let me tell you.
Yep.
Bring on the carbs.
Fun fact:
Pass the butter.
in every basic training, you basically only eat carbs.
Yep. Eggs. Well, carbs and protein because you're breaking it down. So,
Yeah.
bacon, eggs, bread, yeah. Potatoes, yeah. And it's weird because in boot camp, most people, if you weigh a lot, you're going to lose it, and if you don't, you're going to gain it in muscle mass.
Yeah.
And I actually watched it happen. I went into boot camp and I was close to 300.
297. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was I was big.
How tall are you, Jim? You're tall last time I remember.
5'10", 5'11".
That's about average then, huh?
Yeah. And then when I got out of boot camp, I was 178.
Wow.
Yep, I was half the man I am today.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I tried to enlist when I was just had graduated, and I didn't meet the height and weight standards then. So,
Well, I was right on the line.
Yeah. I'm
was
5'8"
right on that
and
line.
I'm 240. So
I don't think they have standards in this newer, gentler.
No, they don't.
No, they do.
Well, you still got to do the physical requirements, but it's a lot. It's a lot more lax.
They have realized if you're a certain height now and whatnot, it's so simple that you're just gonna weigh more.
Yeah.
What they really care about is as long as that you're passing the tests and all that.
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, they want the intelligence almost more than anything else at this point.
Well, yeah, because
So
they can make
if
you
you-
physically.
Right.
physically
Yeah.
strong. Yeah.
Making you physically fit is the easy part. Yeah. Especially if you get in trouble a lot. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, my middle name.
Yeah.
it's funny, sex. I was playing World of Warships yesterday. You play with battleships and shoot other
Mhm.
people. In the middle of this match I'm playing, I get a call from Benton, Illinois. And I only get calls from Benton for one reason. The Naval Recruitment Office called me in the middle of me playing World of Warships.
Hey, we see you
They're
like them big
watching.
battleships. Come join the Navy.
But right now
Oh,
I'm
dude.
committed to school, so maybe
know.
after school I go in on a commission, but
I loved it.
Wait,
I
was
absolutely-
that coincidental, or was there some linkage to World of War and the recruiting office?
I don't think so. It was just a coincidence.
Are you sure? How do you know they weren't feeding?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure?
I was thinking,
Well-
as soon as you mentioned it, I thought, because there was a movie about 1980 about video games, and then the kid wound up going into space with an alien, and he used that training.
It's called The Last Starfighter.
That's it. That's it. They were using video games to train kids, teenagers.
And why do I know that?
Because
Also an Ender's Game too.
Yep,
yeah.
good book too.
So much data online. Who knows?
So, yeah.
Right
Well,
there,
here's the thing. I mean, you could be online, you talk about something, and then all of a sudden your Facebook feed has what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they use the cookies. They use that stuff all
Oh,
day. and it's
They listen. They're listening. They're listening.
I clear out my cache a lot because that crap freaks me out.
Yeah.
Freaks me
What was
out.
it the other day? Me and a buddy of mine were at work talking about Ozzy, and then all of a sudden, Pandora starts playing a lot of Ozzy, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Don't do that." It did freak me out. I was like, "Man, that is weird." They're
Yay.
listening.
You're done.
They're always watching.
Hey. Oh man. Jeez, rats. I thought I was
Cheese
done.
and rats.
Well, I'm trying to
Cheese and rats.
seal up all the little holes and the cracks so that it doesn't, air doesn't really get out. And I got this one huge gap in the back of the conning tower I didn't fill.
Yep,
Okay.
you don't want holes in your submarine.
You know.
I don't like this PC grant. It's no fun.
Don't get it started. It has to be PC. The students are still here. Oh,
Yeah.
mother puss bucket.
I got a series of jokes that Matt would like, but I can't.
It's
save
10
him.
o'clock. It's their bedtime.
How they ever learn?
But it's a holiday. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one. I mean, my kids cuss like sailors.
What are they paying you for?
My kids cuss like sailors.
So what do they
Still
say
are.
with a little bit of a feminine accent?
Oh, Jesus.
No, they don't.
Oh, dude, that was cold.
Oh, gee.
Sorry, that was a little unhinged.
Julian, I just think you're just jealous.
Oh jeez.
I think you're just a little jealous.
That was.
Fine.
Oh, that was that.
Wow.
Going down.
Woo.
See if you can see behind my bed too. I don't know how to zoom in with this.
What are you, a Marine or something?
Ship on that? No, my great grandpa was in the Navy. He was on a destroyer during Vietnam. Or Korea, not Vietnam. Sorry.
I was a land sailor. I was a seedy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I was. We worked on side loadable warping tugs. I can't tell you what we actually called them, but
Side warping.
Side loadable warping tugs. SLWT.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the CBs, their job is to like build stuff for the Marine Corps. No,
No, we build stuff for everybody.
gotcha,
That's right.
It's
in the Air Force
it's the Navy Department's version of the Corps of Engineers.
gotcha,
Exactly.
gotcha.
So, and that's also another thing too, is that the Marines think, oh well, we protect the Seabees. No, we build, we fight. That's why we're there. Now we do train with the Marines. When I got my CB combat pin, I had to train with the Marines down in Pendleton, and that made me not want to ever be a Marine. Those guys are hardcore. No thanks.
Man, just a little change of geography, and you could have got on that Camp Lejeune water case.
Yeah, right. One more. Was it like a state or two over? Yeah, go ahead.
Man.
Fun fact, like people are still scared to drink out of the drinking fountains there because they still
Mhm.
think it's contaminated, even though it has been resolved.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, drink out of it anyway. Get that lawsuit money.
Whoa. Who
Yes.
said it's been resolved?
The government.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
The government is your friend.
That's right.
Yes.
Should always
The only
trust the government.
official that's
We
my
wouldn't
friend
lie
is
to
the
you.
military.
Jesus.
We would never lie to you.
Are they still
No,
shipping?
I did a little time in Guam. Don't recommend it. I was on. We actually. We're more of a salvage operation. We did what they call row, which is roll on, roll off. It's basically like during World War II, right? After we had taken the beach at Normandy, the causeways that were there. That's kind of what we did, but they didn't do it then. And then we would run these huge rolls of basically like 4-inch hose for fuel, water, that sort of thing. That's what we did. So my job as an engineman, a diesel mechanic, basically, my job was to take care of the 2 Detroit 6-cylinder diesel engines that ran this salvage rig. Basically, it's a side-loadable warping tug.
Those 71 series Detroit diesels.
Series 6. They were
Series
older.
6.
Yeah, they were older than me. Korean War era. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, bulletproof. And then because of that, I also got to, do a lot of stuff in the Navy that a lot of other sailors didn't get to do, like shoot guns. I shot a Maudus 50 caliber, which I won't even tell you what that was like because I will get in trouble for this show. Yeah.
Was it a religious experience?
Does it start with a E? And with
let's just say, I'm gonna say it. I was harder than Chinese math for a week. Yeah, it was wow. I got to shoot the M16A1, the over/under grenade launcher. Fun fact, just to use your vernacular, it does actually make that sound. The boom. Yeah.
Like a video game.
Yeah. I got to shoot an M60. Yes, they did allow us to shoot it from the hip just to see that that's not the way you actually do it, Rambo. That hurt. That actually hurt. I got to shoot M16, M60, 50 caliber, the Montes. What was the Law, the little disposable rocket launcher. Yeah, I got to fire one of those. Got to throw grenades. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. The Law, it actually felt like like you just were unwrapping presents. It felt like a cardboard tube. And I'm just like, I'm gonna shoot a missile out of this? Yep, okay.
My granddad served in the he was an artilleryman and he was stationed in Germany, working with German artillery, and the U.S. provided the shells. So when they would go out on maneuvers, he got to fire just German MG3, which is basically just MG42.
Yep. All right, so I went from this. Whoa. Well, now my camera locked up. Come on. Hold on. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back. So that's with the desert yellow and the flat earth. And then this is the final product before wash and detail.
Nice.
Are you using a Flory clay wash?
No, actually, I'm gonna on these. I'll use like the sepia wash from Games Workshop.
Ah,
The
gotcha.
Flory wash, it doesn't really do good on miniatures because you have to be able to take it back off. And on miniatures, you don't want to do that. You want it to settle in. So, yeah. But I love the way that camo turns out.
I still need to finish my little guy.
Oh,
Here we go.
Just when I look at him straight on, he looks so stupid.
found a friend. Can you see that?
No,
It's a
it looks
bug.
like a toad.
No,
Oh.
it's a
Is that a miniature or is it a real bug?
no. That's a bug. That's a real bug.
It's a feature.
Yes,
not a bug.
I'm painting it. Yeah, go away. Get out of here. How the hell did you get in here? Sorry, how the heck did you get in here?
It's cold outside, man.
I don't care. Buy your own damn house. Darn house.
George said a French work friend fired an MP5. He was shocked, no recoil.
Yeah. Shoots a 9. Doesn't it shoot a 9mm?
9mm.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like a weird 9mm caliber, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never shot one. Now we did get sidearms, and it was right around the time that the military was switching from the 1911 to the Beretta. So I had to be qualified on both. Give me that 1911 any day. That was such a mistake, switching to the Beretta.
Yeah, my uncle said the same thing.
Oh, you're not gonna find a better stopping power than that 45 caliber. You know, yes, the Beretta is cheaper, easier to produce, whatever, but
NATO compatible.
whatever. You're getting less. You're getting less stopping power. I'm not a fan. Heck, even my own sidearm, I don't that I carry. I carry a 40 caliber. It's a good choice between both. But I don't. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Beretta. But it is accurate. It's better, but you got to throw a lot of bullets down range.
Make sure they ain't going nowhere.
Well, that's the thing is that you have to empty the clip with that. With a 45, twice is probably going to do it.
Do you want to put a hole in somebody,
Yes.
or do you want to put a?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was a question. No, it's funny because
Do you want to put a hole in
right.
somebody? You want to put a lot of holes in somebody?
You're right. Right before World War II, the U.S. Army at that time was still using revolvers. Right in between World War I and World War II, they were still using revolver. So the military, the U.S. military, had decided on two different sidearms, semi-automatic sidearms they wanted to go with. One of them was the 1911. The other one, believe it or not, was the German Luger.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Luger has 18 moving parts. I think the 45 had 7. They did 3 tests on it. They did they broke it down in parts. They did a wet sand test where they basically buried the weapon in wet sand and then pulled it out and tried to fire it. And then they shot it at a steel pot helmet. The Luger would not go through the helmet, but the 45 obviously did. .45, they pulled it right out of the sand, the wet sand, and it fired where the Luger did not. You know, leave it to the Germans to over-engineer everything. I thought that was interesting that right before World War II, we were, you know, considering using a German gun. I wonder how that would have went.
Yeah.
Well, there were some. Well, there are some of the most expensive Lugers you can buy are some of those original U.S. trial guns.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure collectors have them, but
And they
it's not a
actually,
bad. It's not a bad weapon. It's ugly, but it works.
when they started selling them on the civilian market in the 20s, you could buy a Luger in multiple calibers. They had them in 9mm. You could buy it in 40, and you could buy it in 45.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, when the Nazis actually started using it, they used the 9mm version. Did they not?
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking
Oh, and
of
they also found that the
over-engineered
Luger was
German,
heavier.
Julian, how's the Stug coming?
It's pretty simple so far. These
Okay.
torsion bars are kind of weird though, because the locating pins on the hull for them don't have them lining up perfectly. So I'm gonna have to do some maintenance. But I mean, it's typical dragging stuff. Nothing I've never
Right.
not dealt with.
Ooh. George says he has a Swiss Army knife. They do not have the right to bear arms in Australia.
You're right.
Really?
That's
So-
right.
So how do you shoot kangaroos and stuff?
Oh,
They
they
don't.
can have bolt action rifles and all stuff.
You know, how do you shoot kangaroos and rattlesnakes and stuff that'll kill you?
What, you mean like everything in Australia?
Yeah.
Pretty close. That's a good point.
Ask
Sometimes
George
it's
if he.
They have a spider that if it bites you, you got about 10 minutes or you're dead. And it chases you.
Funnel web.
Yep, no thank you.
Yeah, we're good.
And they like to live in your shoes. Nope, I'm good. Never mind. Nope, keep it. So that is a good question. So if you're in the bush, the outback, wherever you want to, you're in
Yeah.
the wild.
If you're
So
down under,
you can't carry a weapon.
He says hunting license for people that need to.
Okay.
and what negates
like-
need to?
Well, they probably gave the government enough money to say, yeah, okay, he needs to.
I say I just go to my Walmart and get a hunting license.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and buy a Henry rifle while you're at it.
Yeah.
Oh man, nice. Yeah.
Good gun.
We've got a couple rifles. I think we have a 357 and maybe a 22 long rifle at Walmart in my town, which is where I work. So
Oh, you love
Well, I knew that other countries like Australia and other places, like here in like in Missouri especially, we actually don't. You can get your carry and conceal license, but it's not required to actually carry and conceal. As long as you are the registered owner, you can. It's a constitutional carry, so you can actually carry it. Now, what's weird?
we're trying to fight that.
What do you mean we're
What's
trying
weird?
In Illinois, we're trying to get our constitutional carry right back.
Well, in Illinois, if you are from another state and you have a legal right to carry that weapon, you can still do it. It just has to be in the trunk, and you cannot have ammunition with it. So what's the point?
You don't want to. No.
No.
I don't go to Illinois with anything.
Nope.
No.
No.
Because
It's easier that way. It's just easier that way.
They'll arrest you and put you in jail, and then the
They will.
prosecutor do something stuff, and then they go, "Oh, we're sorry, you can go." But that's after like 6 months, and God
Yeah.
only how much money. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Well, they won't
Oh,
keep you in jail. We
They'll
got
keep you in jail.
friends.
Yeah, it's money. Sure, that's what it's about.
George says it also has very strict background checks too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people don't believe it, but we have those too. Especially now. But
A 3-day waiting period.
I didn't have to go through that.
You didn't have to wait. You have to wait in Illinois.
No,
Scheduled shut.
Nope, not in Missouri.
no. When I went and bought the pistol that we use here for home defense, I walked into the gun store. They did the background check and all that right while I was waiting. I walked out with the gun.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, you have to do your background check here. You have to have a FOID card before you do any of this,
Yeah.
and that's like a 8 to 10 month process.
Well, it's weird because here in Missouri, and I'm not 100% sure why this is, you can actually you can conceal and carry without a conceal and carry license. Now, if you have your carry and conceal license, you can also carry concealed, but you can also open carry. You cannot open carry without the carry and concealed license. But I can hide the gun, carry it, without the carry and conceal. It's weird. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that, but whatever. Yeah, 100%. But, whatever. So anytime we go like downtown St. Louis or whatever, I never, yeah.
So Jim, this is kind of gives my age away, but I've got a number of handguns, and I have the original copies of my permit to purchase paper.
Mm-hmm.
That I had to fill out.
I keep mine too.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I remember going through that whole process. Jeez, that was.
It's a pain.
It's more lax than Illinois.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to even try it.
So George says, the country, he goes, Australia started as a penal colony. You can't have convicts rising up, bit like the monk planet in Aliens 3. He goes,
right.
Gangs obtain them illegally, can't even carry a knife with a long blade, like Crocodile Dundee did.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a point there. That's right. Australia was a penal colony. You don't want to harm the prisoners. But I think it's time to change that.
No, a lot of these laws.
It's a little dated now.
No, well, I guess George, no. A lot of these laws that prevent you from carrying a long knife like that, those were implemented long after Australia became a.
Yeah. So it's not really a penal colony anymore. So
That's right.
you can't really use that argument, but the government obviously still does.
That's the argument they use, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question for George. Is Australia still Commonwealth? Are they still subject to the Crown?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They
I
are?
can answer that for
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I thought they were completely, totally independent. Like
No.
No, they are part of the Commonwealth.
They are still part of the Commonwealth, which is probably why they have their gun laws have to be that way. Because the British are the worst.
Well, no, Australia passed their laws after that one mass shooting in that one little town. That's when that whole ban situation occurred down there. I thought Australia. I didn't think they were still a part of it.
Oh yeah, they're part of the Commonwealth still.
Yeah.
They are still considered a colony.
My condolences, George.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Send you
don't
an
have
apple
enough
pie,
of
George.
this
Maybe you'll
food.
revolt.
He goes, they love the royalty.
Long live the Queen.
Holy cow.
Queen's dead. Long live the king.
Yeah, but I don't like the King. Long live the Queen.
Even the royalty that goes to Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
Damn.
Facts.
Okay. Grant's on fire.
Yeah.
Grant's on fire. Look out. All the kids at home are like, what's Epstein's Island? Is that like where Barney lives?
Hey, it's
Oh
after,
my god.
it's after 10. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's after 10.
No, it's still a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
Dang it. I hate it when I'm painting detailed stuff in my
So, George, is there anything we need to know about Thursday?
Yeah.
Anything good we need to know? Anything good in the news?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ever get the answer to the question, do they celebrate Thanksgiving? I don't think they do.
No, I don't think.
Yeah. George, you celebrate a Harvest Day or anything like that? George says they love royalty. He goes, apparently any royalty.
Even Burger King. Yay! There you go.
Hey, I would do the Burger King. Are you kidding me?
Had me
Yes, Your
Whopper
Majesty.
steak.
Give me a Whopper. Yeah.
And
Yes,
Dairy.
Your Majesty.
And
Oh,
Dairy.
I would definitely. Dairy Queen would be my. That would be my weakness. I am such a fan of ice cream.
Okay, I remember a joke about Dairy Queen and the farm. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
Oh boy. We need a 30-second delay when Grant's on board.
Well,
I'm just
no.
saying. Can somebody that's their job. They don't build models, they just stand by and go beep.
No, my inner editor kicked in when I thought about that joke, but you know,
Good.
it's politically correct today.
We're so proud of you, Grant. You're actually showing a little self-control. I love that.
Yeah. 20 years ago, this joke about Dairy Queen was completely blue. Okay. Today, it's okay. So, but
No.
still, I'm giving Matt just the shivers here.
He's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
No.
do it.
No, you're right. George said not yet. He's waiting to see if any more of those Mach 10 missiles drop.
Oh yeah. Jeez, yeah.
And I said anything about Thursday. He said no. He just had lunch. It was Thai food leftovers.
Oh,
Sweet.
he had a Bumpus Christmas. Nice. Bumpus ass.
Man, yeah, that was a real eye
Open
opener.
up the damper, will ya? Who the hell turned it all the way down? Again?
Again. Are you kidding, kid? You'll put your eye out.
You know,
That car would freeze up in the middle of summer on the equator.
so he mentioned the Mach 10 missiles, right? The hypersonic.
Hypersonic.
And I was watching a video of those things going down in Kiev, and I thought that spells the end of practically any fixed base that any military had. The Air Force and their air superiority. There's no defending against that stuff right now. But you
Well,
can't.
they still anti-missiles can shoot them down.
Not really.
It's harder. Sea-Wiz can take care of it because it's coming right at it.
Sea-Wiz. Well, now listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so these are ballistic missiles, and there was 6 warheads with 6 penetrators each. So that was 36 of those things coming in independently.
Per
And
missile.
the size of this
Per
area
booster.
they hit in Kiev was about the size of an Air Force base. And you look at that and you go, damn. You know,
Yeah.
they launched 2 or 3 or 4 of those merged missiles at any single Air Force base that's not nuclear. Now, the only alternative is you let the Russians know and the Chinese know that if they use any of those things, consider that a nuclear, and then we'll respond accordingly. But the point is, those things came down, and you can't touch those. Not at that speed. Not at Mach 10.
Well, and they're actually talking about now the U.S. and even Ukraine are now worried about, with North Korea being involved now, they're worried about nuclear weapons. And even Russia, even
Well,
Putin was talking about using low yield. Man, I really hope that hope that doesn't happen.
but that was in response to Biden authorizing the use of the ATACMS, and then who was it? The Danish with their I think
Yeah,
Gavin probably
that's-
knows. What's the other one? The alternative to attack ATACMS that NATO is going to allow?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a little scary.
My
Not gonna lie.
personal opinion, as someone that they would probably draft,
Yeah,
it's a bunch of sword rattling, is all it is.
I hope so.
And I think we should get out of Europe with that. I mean, that's their problem. I mean,
Should have
they're not
never
over
been
here
involved in
telling
the
us-
Ukraine war to begin with. We never should have been there.
I mean, they're not over here telling us how to deal with Mexico or Canada or Venezuela and
That's who we should
you know,
invade
all
is
these other
Canada.
countries. So, what's our right to tell them how to live in Europe?
Well,
Live and
that's
let live. I mean, if you fight a war and you lose, you lost. Sad
Well,
and true.
But
How do
here's the thing: is that the whole reason that Russia is fighting. There's two reasons why Russia's beating up on Ukraine right now. One, the Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union, and they want them back.
yeah.
That's where all the oil is at. And two, they were getting ready to join NATO, and it's way too close to the Russian border. Putin doesn't want us that close. He doesn't want an American ally that close to his country.
Well, Ukraine is on the Russian border.
Right, but they're
Well,
not a
I'm
member
gonna-
of NATO yet.
I'm going to counter that because when you have nuclear weapons, it doesn't matter how close or far away your adversary is.
Agreed.
I really think that it's less of Ukraine joining NATO, but the one thing that I really think is part of it is the Crimean Peninsula. Because and this happened during the 1850s in the Crimean War,
Yep.
and when Soviet Union broke up, Russia lost Sevastopol.
Mhm.
And Sevastopol is the only port that Russia had that didn't freeze in the winter.
Right.
And I mean, starting in October, Russia's navy basically comes to a screeching halt because everything they have is frozen.
Yeah, they're ice locked. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they didn't have Sevastopol and the Crimean, the land bridge there, if they didn't have control over that, I mean, really, they're not a
Yeah,
force.
they're stuck.
They're not a force. So, really, I think the whole land invasion was to secure, be able to provide security that, and knowledge that they would always have control over the Crimean Peninsula and Sevastopol. I
Well,
think is
that
probably
controls
the biggest reason.
that controls black access to the sea too.
Yeah.
What's
Yes.
it called? At the beginning of the war, they said their goals were to take the entire Donbass region, wasn't it? Does Sevastopol fall within that region?
Yeah, they want all of that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well,
Uh,
the port for sure, the oil for sure, because Ukraine is one of the biggest over there. It's one of the bigger. It has one of the larger deposits of oil in the country. They want it back, and you know it was going to happen. Now, and I hate to say this, and I'm probably going to get yelled at for it, but if Trump would have been in office during that time, Putin would have never done it.
No.
He would have never risked it, and that's part of the reason why they're thinking about it now, because they know we have a very tough military, but we had a leader that wasn't going to use it. Now we do.
Well, it wasn't so much the military as much as it was the economic power.
Well, he's already started doing that too.
And
I think we've given him enough. I think we've given him enough money. Let's
then-
move on.
yeah, they asked him during the debate. They tried to back him into a corner with it.
Oh,
Said,
yeah.
"What do you want to happen in Ukraine?" And he said, "I want people to stop dying."
Yeah,
It's really, I mean, in a war,
that's kind of what you want.
I mean, you could take the humanity out of it all you want, but in a war, you're sending 17, 18-year-old kids
Yep.
to die. And even if you win the war, I mean, how many 17, 18-year-old kids have
Yeah.
died just because you won some land?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What cost?
You know, last night I rewatched Fury, and
Good movie.
I realized, I mean, the kid who joins as the assistant driver. I mean, he's 18. Imagine how he feels when he hasn't even been in Germany on that base. He's just been assigned, and he's already getting told to roll out.
Yeah.
Just imagine the fear that strikes through
Oh.
these kids' bodies, who don't even want to be there. They don't want to be there. They didn't have a choice. They were drafted. They're not the people who want to.
Well, it was okay. So I'm gonna answer that back with a caveat. World War II was different. Then you were drafted, but a lot of, I would say the majority of the people in the military joined because they wanted to go help. That, you know, to them it was a job. You know, yeah, they may not have wanted to be there. Maybe that guaranteed they were scared, but they saw it as a job and they had a job to do, so they did it.
They're protecting their farms and their towns and their.
Yeah, they thought that they were really protecting their, fighting for freedom and doing all that. I mean, it's not like that anymore.
That's how they got me to go into the military during the Vietnam War. It
Right.
was absolutely a, God, country, honor, duty thing.
Right. So
That's what you're supposed to do.
I feel like
Right.
during the Vietnam War there was a big reform in that, though. A lot of people
there was.
they didn't see the point in it anymore.
Oh, right.
Vietnam's the reason we don't have the draft anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
we have
Well,
like
the draft
service,
is
they
still
can call
there.
it up anytime.
They
Yeah,
can.
they can call it up anytime, but it's not active.
Say,
There's no
Right.
peacetime draft.
Yeah, Matt, when
For-
you were 18, you registered for something called selective service. You didn't even know about it.
yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did.
I thought you were saying because like you didn't know it was a thing. I'm sorry.
No. I
No, it's
tell,
still,
I tell my
it's
students,
still a
I go,
requirement, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
You cannot vote unless you're selective service as a
Right.
male, anyway.
yeah. I tell my students, I go, the first thing you do is when you turn 18 for the boys, I go, you go to the post office, you fill out your selective service card. Then you leave there, you go to the library, and you go and you register to vote.
Yep.
Because if you have the right to, if somebody's going to send you to war, you should have the right to determine who's going to be sending you to war.
You better believe it.
I thought that was automatic. Registration was automatic now. You didn't have to go.
Well, no, you unless you register for selective service, you cannot register to vote.
No, Jim. I thought they changed that so that you're automatically registered. You don't have to fill out a
No.
form.
No,
No,
so
you
Brent,
could go online. You
No.
can do it online.
I can do it
did
online,
it on my phone.
the
But
way
you
it works
have
now-
to register to vote. I had to re-register.
No, I said registered for the selective service. I thought
Oh.
they changed that so it's automatic and it's based on your social security number.
Well, another thing is now if you if you enroll in college, it pretty sure it automatically enrolls you. At least that is what that's what my grandpa told me, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I did it on my phone, and they sent me the little letter in the mail with my number on it. Keep it in my wallet.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Well, I turned 18 in February, so
Wow.
This year?
yeah, 24.
I thought you were older than that.
Those guys.
I thought you were older than that.
Wait, so Gavin, you're only 18?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I thought it was like.
Really?
College.
I did too. I thought he was in his 20s.
Well, you
Oh,
know
Gavin,
why? You know
Gavin,
why?
you make me feel
Because
like
we're old.
No.
Because we're old.
because like a lot of us, we had other things we wanted to do at home and not go out, drinking.
Yeah. Right.
We want to learn this stuff.
Gavin,
When
you make
people-
me feel like a bum because you're in school and I'm out here working and I'm 19.
Hey, I
I
mean,
feel like I need to be doing something already.
shit, man. I mean, if you work, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I can't. Nobody should tell you that's wrong.
Nope.
You're not a bum for not going to college.
No.
I mean,
Go to work.
There's a lot.
Why would you
more
want to go into
pros.
debt when you can go to a trade school for a lot less and make more money?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
my tuition for the spring semester is due on Monday, December
Yeah.
2nd. I'm taking 5 classes. It's $2,000. Stay in. Just go to work.
Go to work. Yeah.
There are a lot more
I know
bums in
it's
college
really-
than in the
it's really
workplace.
hard to-
Well-
the groups I'm involved in are all about this STEM thing, and nobody is even talking about the trades except micro.
Micro.
Yeah.
Well.
Well, right now is a great time to get into the trades.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Become a welder. You will not regret it.
Right.
Well, arguably any trade.
Yeah.
Plumbers, electricians,
Pipe fitter,
welders.
Boilermaker, anything.
Yeah.
And
Ditch digger.
My dad used to tell
Why
me.
not?
You don't
Grave diggers, they make great money.
And really bought into that whole go to college so you don't be a ditch digger thing. That
Yeah,
was a
my
good
grandpa used to
It's-
say
yeah.
the world needs
Just like she
ditch
said,
dig- the
being
world
a
needs
grave
ditch
digger
diggers
is
too.
pure job security. Everybody has to die, and they all have to be buried.
But
What are you
you
gonna
know,
say,
you also
Matt?
got to realize by like joining the trade, you know, your body by the time you retire.
I mean,
I disagree
my
with that.
granddad-
Well, I do
As
too.
somebody who's done it, I mean, I'm 56 years old. You know, it's
Say,
Yeah.
Well, just wait till you take the big sit for the first time in retirement. That's what my grandpa told me. He was like, you know, for all those years I worked, I didn't feel nothing. As soon as I retired,
Oh, yeah.
I all caught up.
turned into a toad. Yeah.
My granddad was a welder for almost 20, 25 years after he got out of the army, and he forbade me from becoming a welder. Anyway, I took some trade classes. We still had them when I was in school. We had carpentry and stuff, and it's just not for me. So I'm going into aviation. Right now I'm doing general studies at my junior college because it's cheaper there.
So you're gonna be a pilot.
Yeah.
There you go. That's not bad.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
right now, I mean, my granddad was a welder. Right now, my dad is 900 feet under a mountain trying to mine coal.
Yeah, that I wouldn't do. Yeah, that's
And he's forbade all his kids from mining coal. So
yeah. I can't blame that. 'Cause
he
that
says,
is
I mine coal, so you kids don't have to. So
I mine coal so you can mine crypto.
yeah. That's I wouldn't want to be a miner. Nope.
Give
No,
Matt the floor.
but-
Give Matt the floor. Give Matt his floor.
Every-
back.
What?
every miner I've ever met, some of the toughest guys. You know, I mean, the amount of willpower it takes to climb into a cage every night and go 900 feet underground and break your body for. I mean, it's okay pay, but you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of heart and takes a lot of courage.
Couldn't do it.
On the flip side, don't think that there aren't any physical problems with being a white collar. I mean, stress hits you before you even know it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sitting
You
at a
know, I
desk
was,
is the worst thing in the world.
Life has
Yeah.
all sorts of ways of killing you.
Oh yeah.
A couple months ago, I was debating going to work up in the oil fields or down in the
Ooh.
oil fields, but I think I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I just don't know if it's worth it.
It's
Well,
a great
you know,
job if you don't have a family.
Yeah.
Listen. Here's the deal. You go out for 5 years, you earn $100,000 a year, you don't go drinking, you don't go messing around, you put that money in the bank, you invest it, and in 10 years, you'll be able to retire without having to go through the whole
Yes.
6-year bust your butt thing.
Yep.
So, yeah. You know, if you make $100,000 2 years after you leave high school, you start earning that money, and you work smart, and you work long, and you invest it right, and you'll be fine, and you'll just be fine.
I talked to my grandpa or my grandparents and my mom about it, and they were just like, "Oh no, don't do that. You're gonna be a blah blah blah."
No.
Like, I don't know. They were like, "Go. You need to go to school, or you need to join the military now."
No. Well, the military's not a bad option.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of.
Just now today it is. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to join the military.
Stay in for 20 years and you're set for life.
Oh yeah, but you come. Oh dude. Oh Jim. Man,
I regret it. I regret leaving.
You and I could at the time, okay, but the way this military has gone south with the whole DEI woke stuff, I got guys.
Yeah, that's gonna reverse itself. That's gonna change.
Yeah, no, it definitely.
It's already
a
already
progressive
started.
Process, yeah.
It's already
Everywhere
it has
nowadays,
to.
really.
You
And it's
still
It's
have,
already starting to
Going down.
change. It's going down.
still have 5 more years to go to excise that. It's just
Well,
it's
Well-
it's in there like
why not make it your first 5 years then? 'Cause then after that it can only get better.
Grant, here's my reasoning for it. Number one, it will, if you wanted to, it'll shape you into a different person.
Better
Number
believe
two,
it.
it's something I want to experience. I want to be able to say that. And number 3, the GI Bill. You know, so
No, it used
Yeah.
to.
Still a viable option.
Today, it's a military will turn you into a woman fast. Okay. Have a tongue in
Well-
cheek.
well, no, you gotta understand. It's not the branch. It's the job. As long as
Yeah.
you do something manly, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right
So-
now, if you join even the Army infantry, not the Marine Corps infantry, you're gonna be a hard ass. You're not gonna be a sissy sitting behind a desk at an admin.
Yeah.
Well,
So here's the thing. No. Listen. The Russians, the one thing they got right was that every child was required to do at least 2 years of military service. Now everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's horrible." No. You learn discipline. You learn respect. You learn how to live like a normal adult. I think we should do that here. The military is still a viable option. It
You know, Germany
truly
did that
is.
for up until the 90s. They still
Mhm.
had you had to do.
The Russians are still doing it, and it works for them. You know, it's the military still. Anybody that tells me that, I will argue that. I mean, I hear where you're coming from, Grant. I totally hear where you're coming from, but I still think that the military is a viable option. Now, is it cut out? Is it for everybody? Nope. You got to want to do it. You gotta want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Well, all I'm saying
because-
is,
Yeah.
Air Force boot camp, cakewalk.
Boot camp is a cakewalk in general. You have to you go in with the mindset that this is a mind game. You don't go in with an adversarial attitude because they're trying to help you. They're just going to yell at you a lot to do it. But just like Julian said, it's going to change you into a better person.
If you let it.
Physically.
Some people,
Oh, and
some
you
people
have to-
still get in there and are still the same bums they were on the outside.
But it's the mindset that you approach it with that's going to get that done. So if you walk in thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be a bum," then you're going to be a bug. You
Yeah.
walk in going, "Okay, I'm here to change my life. I'm here to get in shape." It's going to happen.
Jim, it will change you a little bit, but it won't change you like it changed you and me. This is not the military when I went to basic camp. This is nowhere near the military that people went in 2000, 2001. This military today is. So anyway, I'm just saying. And Jewel, yeah, it will change you a little bit. But I think in some ways it will do you more damage than you think you get a benefit of. Anyway, but anyway, that's
Agree to
I don't
disagree.
know. We'll see. I don't think there's anything I can lose by doing it. So
You're damn right. That's exactly right. So let's say it doesn't work. It's 4 years, right? And you get paid. I mean, you're not going to get rich being in the military. You're not. But it's a steady job. It's
yeah,
not
unless you're
that bad.
married, unless you're married and a sergeant above, you ain't making
Right.
jack shit.
Wow.
So-
And it doesn't matter. You're still. It's still a steady job. And here, nowadays, that's not bad.
as long as he gets
I
something.
mean, if you are
So-
married, free
So
house.
here's what George got to say. First off, he says Gavin seems far wiser than his age says he is.
Yes.
So that's a compliment there, Gavin. So very nice.
We've done some
George says the best way to learn a trade is the military. He says,
That's-
example, a friend of his is a mechanic in the Army, and he said the other thing is you got to be patriotic. If you're not patriotic, don't. join
You're
the
wasting your
military.
time. You better believe it.
So
All I'm
You're
saying
wasting your
is,
time.
look around my room real quick.
Well, but just make sure you get a job to transfer to the civilian world easily.
Ugh.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, like me, I was a diesel mechanic in the Navy.
Yeah.
I'm doing that now. So yeah, if you go in learning weapons and all that, it doesn't really translate.
You'll learn how to
So-
clean.
Yeah, which is that's a viable skill.
So make sure you pass that ASVAB with flying colors, man.
Yep,
Oh, I got.
Oh man, that ASVAB's one of the easiest things I've ever done.
you better believe it. It was for me
I've
too.
taken that ASVAB.
So my overall score wasn't that high, but my GT score was incredible. So I scored a 119 on that.
I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be the be all and end all, but it is a viable option.
All I'm saying is I'm really bad at math. Like,
I'm horrible at math.
I'm bad at math from the textbook. Now, if I have to do something, like say calculate your own MPG or stuff like that, like
Yeah.
actual math that has a freaking purpose, then we're pretty quick with it.
I was good at math until pre-calc. So
You don't
You
really
know-
need that for most jobs in the military. That
No.
was,
No.
You can add, multiply, subtract, divide, you're fine. But
Now you guys are talking Greek. That's math. I'm not good at it. Yeah, I'm not good at it at all.
I was a math teacher for 10.5 years, so.
Ooh.
no, I'm joking.
Wow.
So if you ever need any help, I know a guy.
Now, what level math?
Okay, so
Level math did you teach at, Matt?
Let's see. I taught 7th grade. Let's see. Basic
So
math
basic math,
to
yeah.
pre-algebra, and then I used to be a tutor at Sylvan Learning Center, where I did everything from basic math all the way to algebra 2, and I also taught the ACT class. So
Yeah, okay.
I know what you need to know for the ACT.
Okay.
So I actually know somebody who might be able to use your services. Actually.
Wasn't sure if you were teaching at the calculus and beyond level.
Let's see. I got an A in college algebra. I got an A in college trig. Let's see. I lasted 6 weeks in college calculus and said, "Yeah, I don't think so."
Me too.
Show off.
And then I went to college pre-calculus, which was nothing like high school pre-calculus, which I took and got an A in that too. And I had a professor who was from South Korea. He brought out the textbook. He said, "You read book, you know book, you pass test." And
That was my second calculus.
Wow.
and that was the extent of his English as well.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, that was my experience in 1978. Man, it was bad. But yeah, so you're well equipped. You're well equipped for the high school and elementary.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm in college algebra. My instructor is one of the things she does that I like is everybody on the required materials listed was a dry erase marker and an eraser. So almost every lecture, everybody goes up to their whiteboard in this room, and we just work problems. I mean, people talk each other through it, stuff like that. It's really great because you learn as you do,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
and that's in high school it was like you read book, you know book, you pass test. It was
Right.
just the kids who did good on the test were just memorizing stuff.
Yes.
The thing that got me through algebra and trigonometry was this thing called the Shams Outline Series. Do they still make that, Matt?
No, they have a different series, but I know what you're talking about. My dad had those.
Yeah, it's just like 100 problems in the same thing, and then you just work them out, see where you went wrong, work out the next one, see where you went wrong. By the time you get through about number 20 for me, I was able to get through the next 30.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's exactly right, Gavin. There's only so much lecture that you can stand before you actually have to get out there and actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, you could be talked to all day and not remember a word of what was said.
See one, do one, teach one.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually,
That we learn in the fire service too.
That's absolutely right. You can know a subject, you can be competent in it, but until you teach it, you will not be an expert in it. That is
That is how we learned in the fire service. When I went, and we have to know math in the fire service too, and I am not good at it. To be an engineer, you have to know, fluid dynamics. A hose at a certain length, at a certain angle, going up or downhill has certain properties, friction loss, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, what? I don't know that. I put the wet stuff on the red stuff. Get out of my way. And so that's it. That's all I knew. But
Break door, spray hose.
yeah, Mongo like hose. So when I did that, we would show them how to do it, and then they would do it, and then I would have them teach it back to me. and they did because a lot of the guys when we did like extrication and all that stuff, they did that to me, and it worked. It works.
Yeah.
So, I may have to take you up on that challenge, Mr. Holkelman,
Okay.
just to see if you could actually, because my mother, who was a math whiz, she taught herself binary. For her, numbers were toys. She played with them. I play with words like I love word. Like I'm English and history. I love the English language. I play with words. She would play with numbers, and she tried to teach me. Didn't work. I've had my daughter, who is better at math than I will ever be, try to teach me. Didn't work. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The concept to me is so, unless it's 1 + 1 = 2, you know, here's how I look at it. With algebra, if 1 + x = 4, x = 3.
Thank you, Matt. Me too.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but I graduated early. But let me tell you,
X is just an absence of a number. So letters don't belong in math. They belong in language.
So take the X out and put in a blank.
Exactly. 1 + what = 4. So if you add 1 to 3, that equals 4. So
Right.
X = 3.
That's right.
Oh no, I love the concepts in advanced arithmetic. I mean, it's just
That's as far as you're going to get it,
simple.
because some of the math problems I had when I was in college was X + Y = Z.
But it's
Yeah.
all about manipulation of symbols and the rules.
Okay, but if I just put if X = 1 and then Y = 2, Z = 3,
Yep.
I could put any number I wanted in there. What's the point? You
Yep.
see what I mean?
Yep. I do.
So why do it? I understand that there's going to be certain variables that you don't know what they are.
Well, why do it? Because if you want to design rockets that actually fly efficiently, you're going to have to know that math. You're going to have to know why you need to do that. That's all there is, Jim. You know that.
Yep.
Well, I know, and that's why I'm not a rocket scientist.
When it comes to diesel engines, you don't need to know that. That's
I don't.
You might have to need to know that when they teach you the principles behind the thing.
Yeah.
Once you know the principles and once you understand that, you don't use the math.
You know, for me, it was basically learning diesel engines is learning physics. You know, Ball's law, the compressible liquids, compressible gas.
Sure.
You know, that's all it is, really. That's why diesel works, because air and diesel together, when compressed, gets hot, it burns.
That's right.
Done. That's it.
That's that's physics 101. Now, do you want to design a diesel engine? Well, that's a different story.
Well, why? You know, you can't build a better mousetrap on a diesel engine. There's only so many ways you can do it.
Oh, I love that. I love when people say that. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well, go ahead. I mean, they've done 1 cylinder, 2, 3, 4, 6 cylinders. The Colt peel stick that actually runs the battleship. This is literally a diesel engine that you.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
His laptop battery died.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought his wife unplugged the Wi-Fi.
No.
Hey, Jewel, you were going to say something before you walked out.
He was taking up. He was getting
What was I
excited,
gonna
taking
say?
up all the bandwidth.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was just saying that, like, you know, I didn't try very hard in high school. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really bother, and I really kind of wish I would have, because I feel like just until like maybe a year ago, like I was really lazy and whatnot because of that. I didn't discipline myself enough in high school, and it really hurt me, like, coming into like now, like basically up until like I was like 18 and a half, I want to say. I mean, I was a bum, I'll be honest.
I was going down that road, yeah. But I got Asperger's, so that's
It's his excuse.
that explains a few things. Yeah, I went
Gotcha.
to military school, and that taught me a humongous amount of discipline and how to focus. And so that's actually, to me, I got a superpower. And Matt, the only algebra I ever aced straight off was Boolean algebra.
Oh wow.
I struggled with algebra, struggled with trigonometry, calculus, all of the standard math. But I took this course called Boolean algebra, and ever since then I've been writing software. One day, we were talking. A guy says, "You don't have a degree?" He goes, "How can you write software?" Logic doesn't have anything to do with math.
That's right.
So it's like that's where my superpower is with logic. So anyway,
Well, guys, this is what I've been
Very
working on
inspirational, Jim.
quietly.
I mean, Grant. Oh, nice. Looks
Alright.
like Transformer.
It's a Gundam. So
does he? Oh, look, he's got a finger coming out of his.
yeah, I know that's as far as I got. I wanted to hold him up. So,
That's funny. That was funny looking. I'm like,
but yeah, this is coming together. So I'm pretty impressed with it. So minimal sanding. It fits pretty well. It does have some seam lines at the top, but up in where the armor joins.
but it's all snapped together, right?
Yeah, it's all push fit.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Gundam modders don't even get the experience of sniffing their glue.
Or cutting themselves with a knife.
yeah. So that's what I got. That's what I was able to get done. So
What brand is that?
Bandai.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
love their man. I got their Star Wars series. The detail that they put into that is just incredible.
I
Yeah.
was
So
gonna say I've heard their kits are real high speed.
yeah, I got the I have the Bandai Boba Fett, and I also have his ship as well. So I want to do them as kind of like a forced perspective diorama,
Oh, there you go.
because I think the Boba Fett's like 1/16, and I think the ship is like either 148 or 172nd. So, but well, it's almost 11 o'clock, guys. Even though I don't have a class tomorrow or anything like that, I did get up early this morning, so I'm starting to smell kind of pumpkiny. So I'm getting ready to.
I got to do the wash. I got to get out early tomorrow too. Yeah.
So, but
Oh, that's right. You were off tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah. So you guys have a good, happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Be safe and driving. So watch out for the roads on Saturday. Supposed to be like possibly snowing here. So
Yeah. That's what you're saying. Wet snowflakes.
yep. And let's see. This Saturday, I turned 51, even though I look like I'm 35. So
Oh.
Alright.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been being gaslit.
Well, he's hung around with young kids, so you know.
yeah, I'm bathed in hormones all day long, and it keeps me young. I have a friend of mine. He taught in the classroom for 50 years, and his hair was coal black, and he left the classroom, and within 6 months his hair was entirely gray.
That's funny.
Yeah, because he wasn't around the kids and around all the hormones, and that's what I swear it is. And I teach middle school, so I'm around those hormones all the time when they're at like peak performance time.
So your
So-
wife really loves you then.
Yeah. So. But all right, we're gonna I'll sign off here, and we can talk. We can chat just for a bit after I sign off off YouTube. So George, thank you very much. So we'll catch you next time as well, George. So yeah, gobble gobble. So thank you for the 21st birthday. I appreciate that. So hey, as always, this has been Mom with the Mats. I'm Matt. Matt too will join us next week when he's out of the infirmary, and we'll catch you all later, everybody. Model on YouTube.